Chapter 357. Lin Xian quickly finished his shopping and walked towards the city gate. Oh no, that kid is leaving. The black-robed man in the dark was anxious. He carefully concealed his aura and followed Lin Xian. This is the person the elder told us to follow. We can't lose him. The black-robed man was very dedicated. He knew that Lin Xian was a big fish and was very important to them. However, he didn't dare to act rashly. If he alerted the enemy and scared Lin Xian away, he would die even if he had 10 lives. The only thing he could do was to keep track of Lin Xian's position at all times. Soon, Lin Xian left the city. He patted his storage bag and the sound of a small golden mountain appeared. Guagua Little Gold intimately rubbed against Lin Xian with a look of anticipation. Okay, here you go. Lin Xian smiled as he took out some demon crystals and threw them into Little Gold's mouth. These demon crystals were all killed by him on the way and were now used to feed Little Gold. Woogie the snow-white monkey had a look of disdain and disappeared with a whoosh. When it reappeared, it was holding an exquisite wine pot. Its furry paws hugged the wine pot, and the little monkey took a sip like a human. Woogie, the snow-white monkey had an intoxicated look on its face. Lin Xian was stunned. When did this monkey learn to drink? No wonder my spiritual wine has been decreasing so quickly. It was all drunk by this monkey. Lin Xian grabbed its ear and said hatefully, "Don't drink anymore." The snow-white monkey trembled and burped. It nodded with misty eyes. F***. Lin Xian threw it onto Little Gold's back and quickly moved forward. Bang! With a leap, Little Gold's body disappeared. Behind, the black-robed man was stunned and quickly chased after it. However, he had already used his fastest speed and still couldn't catch up. He could only watch as the golden figure went further and further away. Damn it, what kind of frog is this? How can it run so fast? The black-robed man cursed angrily. If he lost it, he would be dead. No, I have to make a move. A ruthless look appeared in the black-robed man's eyes. His body turned into black smoke as he quickly charged forward. Someone's here. As soon as the black-robed martial artist attacked, Lin Xian sensed it. He smirked and patted Xiao Jin. He suddenly sped up. His body turned into a golden light, and he quickly headed into the depths of the forest. Little bastard, you actually dared to increase your speed. The black-robed man gnashed his teeth and crazily circulated his spirit energy. Black light flashed as he gave chase with all his might. That's not right. Did he find out? The black-robed man looked surprised. Although he had increased his speed earlier, in order to maintain his concealment, he still used a certain method. Since I've been discovered, there's nothing to worry about. The black-robed man sneered and began to mobilize the surrounding spirit chi. Trap. Black clouds floated in front of him, forming a pitch-black cage that pressed down on Lin Xian. The black-robed man was an early harmonious spirit realm cultivator. Now that he had activated his spirit energy, the power of his attacks had increased by several folds. Boom, boom, boom. The black spirit chi light pillar was like a divine spear, piercing through the ground. 4 black pillars blocked Lin Xian's path. That terrifying aura caused the surrounding trees and rocks to explode. Whoosh! The black-robed man appeared in front of Lin Xian. Run. Why don't you run? Damn it, I've decided. After you die, this frog will be mine. Greed flashed through the black-robed man's eyes. Is that so? Since you want it, then come and get it. Lin Xian sat on Xiao Jin's back and said with a smile. Suddenly, Lin Xian's figure gradually faded and disappeared like smoke. Not good. The black-robed man was shocked. He quickly turned his head. However, he was only halfway through this action when his head flew into the air. Plop. Blood splattered everywhere as the headless corpse fell down. Lin Xian put away the remaining half of the Autumn Scar Sword and continued on his way. Just now, he used the Black Cloak's doppelganger martial technique to create a doppelganger on Xiao Jin's back. However, his real body sneaked up behind the black-robed man. Lin Xian killed the man with ease, relying on his powerful attack power. With the Black Cloak, Lin Xian's attacks became even more unpredictable. He could often kill his enemies without them noticing. Taking off the black-robed man's storage ring, He reached into it with his soul power. What a poor bastard. Lin Xian looked down on him for a while before reluctantly putting it away. I'm afraid there is more than one person. I should leave first. He was not afraid of others, but the Black Heart Elder was a powerful warrior of the spirit transformation realm. Killing him would be child's play for him. Therefore, it was better for him to run for his life. Not long after Lin Xian left, two figures quickly landed. One of them was the Black Heart Elder, and the other was the black-robed warrior who ran to report. Right now, he was looking at the corpse on the ground, his body slightly trembling. This was his companion, who was at the same level as him. Judging from the surrounding situation, his companion was killed by a single sword strike. Cold sweat dripped down his face as he thought of a young man with such terrifying combat strength. The blood is still warm. He should have just left. Quickly chase after him. The Black Heart Elder's body emitted a dazzling light as he flew out like a meteor. The black-robed man did not dare to say anything and could only follow behind with all his might. Deep in the mountains, Lin Xian was surrounded by countless poisonous snakes. Dozens of huge, snake-like demonic beasts flicked their red tongues as they stared coldly at Lin Xian. Damn it, could it be the demonic beasts? Lin Xian's expression slightly changed as he thought of He Nian and the others not long ago. If it was the demonic beasts, then it would be really troublesome. Lin Xian had never fought with the demonic beasts before, but just thinking about it made him feel scared. Fortunately, these poisonous snakes in front of him were all demonic beasts, so he could still handle them. Most of these demonic beasts were at the 5th grade, and one of them was at the 6th grade, which was equivalent to a mid-harmonious spirit realm human. He could still handle them, but if they were a little stronger, he would have to risk his life. The surrounding 5th grade demonic beasts were all left to Xiao Jin and the snow-white little monkey. Lin Xian focused on facing the 6th grade demonic beast. Guagua Wuji Wuji Xiao Jin opened its big mouth and its tongue turned into a long whip as it fought with the two demonic beasts. The snow-white little monkey held the cold star dagger in one hand and a white spider web in the other, shuttling back and forth in the air. Hiss hiss. The piebald python in front of Lin Xian shot out a terrifying light from its eyes like lightning. Wind Slayer. The broken autumn scar was unsheathed, bringing with it a fine sword chi. The surrounding air seemed to be cut apart, creating a vacuum. This sword slashed towards the piebald python's head. Hiss hiss, the piebald python's eyes instantly turned red. Its house-sized head struck out horizontally, and its tail quickly fell down. The green sword chi was broken by the piebald python's tail, bringing with it countless gusts of wind. A black shadow flashed, and its thick tail rushed towards Lin Xian. Stepping out with the dragon rebel step, Lin Xian was like a willow catkin, lightly fluttering with the wind. He elegantly dodged the terrifying attack. He pointed his sword downwards, drawing an arc in the air. Moon break. On the sword edge, the green sword chi joined together, forming a crescent-shaped sword chi that rushed towards the ground. As if the green moon had reappeared, the air rumbled. The green light flashed, and the piebald python's abdomen was torn apart, letting out a miserable cry. Chapter 358. The moon-shattering sword chi was like a blue moon as it sliced open the python's abdomen. The python suffered a heavy blow and let out a miserable roar. It opened its bloody mouth and frantically devoured the surrounding spirit chi. A fist-sized energy ball was formed and quickly grew in size. At this moment, another sound of something breaking through the air came from behind. One of the auras was abnormally strong. Just a trace of pressure made the python tremble. The python let out an uneasy roar. It decisively gave up on attacking Lin Xian and fled into the depths of the forest. The surrounding demonic beasts also dispersed, leaving behind a ground full of corpses. Just as these demonic beasts fled, the figures behind arrived. Hand over the white dragon ascension pill, and I'll leave your corpse intact. A sinister voice sounded, accompanied by a huge black cane that smashed down like a mountain. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He quickly put away his two pets and dashed out in a hurry. Want to leave? Do you think you can escape? Elder Blackheart sneered. Under his control, the entire area was shrouded in black fog. The black fog rolled and formed a terrifying attack that pressed down on Lin Xian. That energy was like a solid cage that made it difficult for one to break free. Lin Xian didn't dare to be careless and decisively used the Wind Emperor's sword. The green light flashed like a gale tearing through the sky. A small crack was cut open in the black fog. You're courting death. Elder Blackheart was furious. He didn't expect Lin Xian to be able to cut open his black fog attack. The black-robed man behind also trembled in fear. Even he couldn't break open the black fog just now, but Lin Xian cut it open with a single sword. This kid is really strange. Elder Blackheart flipped his palm and instantly patched the gap. As a spirit transformation realm martial artist, it was easy for him to deal with Lin Xian. I only used 30% of my strength just now. In my black fog, you'll never be able to leave. Elder Blackheart sneered. Hand over the White Dragon Ascension pill, and I'll consider letting you go. Lin Xian took a deep breath. He did not believe Elder Blackheart's nonsense. Moreover, he would rather die than hand over the White Dragon Ascension pill. He swung his green sword again and hacked at the black fog on his left. This time, it was as if the sharp sword light had sunk into the sea, not producing the slightest effect. On the contrary, Elder Blackheart's every move made him feel immense pressure. Is this the power of the spirit transformation realm? Lin Xian felt powerless. He could still fight against a harmonious spirit realm warrior, but he was as weak as a child when facing a spirit transformation realm warrior. Didn't you say that there were experts secretly protecting you? Lin Xian asked anxiously. You wouldn't have forgotten about me, right? He didn't dare to put his life in the hands of an unknown person, so he decided to make a move. Right now, the only thing that could break through the black fog was probably the Gale Lightning Sword. Stubborn. Elder Blackheart's face darkened when he saw that Lin Xian had no intention of responding to him. If you don't want to talk, then I'll do it myself. The black fog rolled, and countless black chains flew out from it, flying toward Lin Xian. Just as Lin Xian was about to be pierced through, the black fog above him was suddenly torn apart, and a fiery red light flew in like the sun. A huge fireball fell from the sky, burning all the black fog in an instant. Who is it? Come out. Elder Blackheart stomped his feet in anger. At this critical moment, someone dared to interrupt his good deed. Little kid, hurry up and leave. A loud voice sounded in the sky. Lin Xian raised his head and saw a blurry fiery red figure in the clouds, emitting a terrifying aura. He knew that the mysterious expert that DK had mentioned had arrived. Without hesitation, Lin Xian summoned Xiaojin and quickly left the place. How dare you? Elder Blackheart's sleeves fluttered, and the black fog around him turned into countless ferocious ghosts, pouncing toward Lin Xian. In front of him, 100-meter-tall black giant appeared, its huge palm covering everything below. Humph! In the sky, the fiery red voice snorted coldly. Countless crimson sabers appeared, carrying scorching flames as they slashed apart the thousands of ferocious ghosts. Lin Xian felt the spiritual energy behind him go berserk, and the energy surged like a tsunami. He was alarmed. He couldn't resist such power at all. All he could do was control Xiaojin with all his might and raise his speed to the limit. In the following days, Elder Blackheart didn't appear again. However, he was attacked by some demon beasts. Fortunately, the Scarlet Black Demon had yet to appear. During this period of time, apart from raising his cultivation level, Lin Xian had been comprehending sword intent. He had completely grasped the essence of the Wind Thearchus sword, but he wasn't satisfied. He wanted to comprehend the concept of wind. This idea was approved by Lord Alcohol. Furthermore, he had the Great Dragon Sword Seal, which was an offensive sacred art. It was also helpful for comprehending concepts. Apart from the concept of wind, Lin Xian also wanted to comprehend the concept of lightning. He had been in contact with these two powers since the beginning, so he was very familiar with them. However, concepts were similar to sword intent. They were somewhat ethereal and illusory, so he had to rely on himself. Along the way, Lin Xian spent his time comprehending. Sometimes, he would also use some demon beasts to practice his sword. He specially chose demon beasts with wind and lightning attributes to fight, such as the thunder tiger in front of him. It was 7 to 8 meters long, and its body was covered with blue lightning patterns. On its back, There was a pair of 3-meter-long lightning wings. As it trembled, countless tiny electric arcs streaked across the air. Lin Xian held the broken sword in his hand. The blade was covered with silver lightning patterns. That power made the Thunder Tiger feel pressured. Roar! As the king of all beasts, the Thunder Tiger couldn't allow such a threat to exist. With a tiger pounce, the Thunder Tiger pounced at Lin Xian with a sky full of lightning. In mid-air, it waved its huge claws, forming several blue electric arcs that contained the powerful power of lightning. Lin Xian didn't counterattack. Instead, he used the dragon counterstep and shuttled through the lightning. He wanted to feel different lightning attacks to comprehend the concept of thunder. The Thunder Tiger was furious. As an intelligent demon beast, it felt that Lin Xian was toying with it. With a low roar, the blue lightning patterns on its body emitted a dazzling light. The lightning gathered in the air, forming a terrifying lightning storm. The area within 100 meters was covered by a terrifying sea of lightning. The surrounding trees and the ground were all destroyed by the lightning. Lin Xian retreated from his comprehension. Even with the dragon counterstep, he couldn't dodge all of the lightning at such a density. He waved the broken sword in his hand, and silver lightning flew out. It was especially eye-catching in the blue sea of lightning. Crack! The two types of lightning clashed, forming a terrifying energy storm. The blue sea of lightning was cut open, creating a vacuum. The Thunder Tiger panicked. As an intelligent demon beast, it could feel the sharpness of that sword. It didn't dare to stay any longer. It turned into a blue lightning bolt and fled. Lightning, one of the most violent powers. Lin Xian had a new comprehension. He sat on the ground and began to comprehend. 2 days later, Lin Xian got up and continued on his way. Soon, he arrived at the border of the Heavenly Mountain Kingdom. Chapter 359. Unlike the last time he left Tianshan country, there was no Xianing River here. On the contrary, there was a city in front of him, and behind the city were countless mountains. As long as I pass through the mountains, I will reach Dragon Star Strong Country. Lin Xian kept the map and walked towards the city. Recruiting! Recruiting! The moment he entered the city, there were shouts everywhere. Lin Xian was curious. He realized that there were merchant groups recruiting people. Is there a lack of martial artists here? Lin Xian was puzzled. Warrior, are you interested in being a guard? A 16 or 17-year-old youth pulled a burly man in front of him and asked with a smile. Our Situ Guild needs experts like you the most. Brother, come to me. A young man with small eyes quickly said, Dragon Gate Guild, top 3 in the industry. We are strong and the price is high. Soon, the burly man was pulled away by the Dragon Gate Guild. Sigh, the Situ family is in trouble this time. They didn't even recruit a single martial artist. Yeah, without a powerful martial artist, there is no way to pass through the forest, let alone reach Dragon Star Strong Country. Oh right, don't go out alone. I heard that the Doffing Mountain Range is full of demonic beasts recently. It's better not to go in. I was wondering why these guilds were recruiting like crazy recently. It seems like there is a beast invasion again. Lin Xian listened at the side and understood a little. Demonic beasts? Beast invasion? He frowned slightly. This was not good news for him. Why don't we join a guild? We can look out for each other. Lin Xian looked ahead. He walked over slowly and looked around curiously. However, when those people realized that they could not see through Lin Xian's cultivation, they lost interest. It couldn't be helped. Lin Xian looked young and thin, and his cultivation was unknown. He didn't look like an expert at all. No one stepped forward. Instead, it was the other martial artists that were fought over. Lin Xian smiled bitterly. He was wondering if he should show off some of his strength. At this moment, the weak young man walked over. Brother, are you interested in being a guard? Sure. What do guards do? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Joy appeared on the young man's face. He quickly said, This time, we're going to the Dragon Star Kingdom. We need bodyguards on the way to protect our safety. Brother, don't worry. We will definitely pay you well. As long as our goods are sold, we will definitely give you money. Lin Xian understood. It seemed like this Situ Guild had no manpower and no money, So they were living a miserable life. Haha, that brat Situ Jing is really crazy. He actually started to randomly recruit people. That's right. Look at that person's body. He's so weak. I'm afraid a gust of wind could blow him away. I say, Situ Jing, why don't you sell your things to us? You can't go anyway. Yeah, since we're in the same trade, why don't you give us a 10% discount? The people from the other guilds began to mock and ridicule him, while the young man called Situ Jing's face turned red. Your name is Situ Jing? Lin Xian asked. No matter how he heard it, it sounded like a girl's name. Yes. Situ Jing nodded like a chick pecking rice. All right, I promise you. Lin Xian smiled and patted the young man's shoulder. Ah, really? Situ Jing suddenly raised his head. His eyes were filled with excitement. Brother, follow me. I'll bring you to see our guild. After saying that, he pulled Lin Xian and left. Damn, that brat's brain is damaged. He actually dared to agree? He's just trying to be brave. When he knows about the Situ family's predicament, he will definitely run away. Who cares? Such a person, even if he enters the Dafeng mountain range, will only become food for the monsters. The group of people sneered and shook their heads with disdain. Lin Xian followed Situ Jing to a shop. Situ Jing excitedly ran in while Lin Xian looked around. The so-called guild was actually an organization that transported goods between two countries. Because it was a border city, the entire street was filled with guild organizations. However, the Situ family's shop was obviously much more dilapidated. Brother Lin Xian, come in? Situ Jing anxiously pulled Lin Xian in. It was dim inside, and some of the furniture was old. At the table in front, there was a middle-aged man with a pale face who was constantly coughing. Father, this is Lin Xian, Brother Lin. The middle-aged man raised his head and carefully looked at Lin Xian. Then, he revealed a disappointed expression. Little brother, Jing is insensible. Sorry for the trouble. The middle-aged man panted. Little brother, please go back. Why? I can't be a guard? Lin Xian asked. To be honest, the Dafeng mountain range is very dangerous during this period. If it wasn't for the agreed date with the Longxing kingdom, we wouldn't have risked our lives to go in. You really don't have to go in and throw your life away. Since it's dangerous, why not change the date? Lin Xian was puzzled. In our line of work, reputation is the most important thing. Once the date is set, it's impossible to change it. Besides, this is a high-risk business. It doesn't matter if we go sooner or later. The middle-aged man said with difficulty and coughed violently. Boss, I was planning to go to the Longxing kingdom. Why don't we go together? Lin Xian decided to stay. As for my strength, he smiled faintly. It's not a problem to deal with an ordinary harmonious spirit realm warrior. After saying that, he released a trace of sword intent. The whole room was filled with a sharp aura. Feeling this aura, the middle-aged man and Situ Jing trembled slightly. Great! There's hope for our Situ family. The middle-aged man was so excited that tears rolled down his cheeks. Situ Jing was also so excited that her face turned red. How about this? I'll accompany you and see if you can recruit other warriors. Lin Xian said. Then, he and Situ Jing went on the street again to recruit warriors. That brat is back? I told you, he won't stay in the Situ family. Wait, why is Situ Jing following him? The group was stunned for a moment, then they sneered. What an idiot. Lin Xian didn't care about these people. Instead, he carefully observed the passers-by. To be safe, he needed a helper. Brat, are you recruiting warriors here? A burly man came forward. Sorry, we don't recruit trash. Lin Xian shook his head. The man was only at the 7th sky of Spirit Sea Realm. It was not enough. Motherf *Ker, you're courting death. How dare you call me trash? The burly man was furious. He raised his fist and was about to throw a punch. Situ Jing was so scared that she hid behind Lin Xian. The surrounding warriors were watching the show. He won't die in one punch, right? It's possible. Who asked him to be so weak? Just as the fist was about to hit Lin Xian, a big hand suddenly reached out from behind the burly man and threw him away. Bang! The burly man was thrown a dozen meters away, and fell to the ground. Hee, are you guys okay? A steady and strong voice sounded. Lin Xian raised his head and saw a young man who was almost 2 meters tall standing in front of him with a silly smile on his face. I'm fine, Situ Jing said with lingering fear. Lin Xian smiled. Thank you for your help. He looked at the burly young man in front of him. With his outstanding soul power, he could feel that the young man had great power. Even he felt a trace of danger. Someone who could make him feel this way was definitely not ordinary. Are you interested in being a guard? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Chapter 360. Seeing Lin Xian's question, the surrounding martial artists could no longer sit still. This muscular young man was obviously an expert. Coupled with his silly smile, they could definitely hire him at the lowest price. How could they give up such a good opportunity? Brother, don't go to them. They are poor and can't afford it. The small-eyed man laughed. Come to our Dragon Gate Guild. We are the third-ranked guild. Our price will definitely be a few times higher than others. There's also us, Tri-Talent Guild. There are many experts in our guild. It's definitely safe. The group of people were extremely enthusiastic. Lin Xian was sick and tired of listening to them. He wanted nothing more than to slap them away. Situ Jing looked on nervously. She couldn't compete with the others. However, the honest-looking young man ignored them. He smiled and asked Lin Xian, I can be a guard, but can I eat my fill? Lin Xian looked at Situ Jing with a questioning gaze. Yes, definitely. Don't worry, you can eat your fill, Situ Jing quickly said. All right, I'll sign up, the muscular young man said in a silly voice. What? The surrounding people were stunned. Our food is even better. We have all kinds of delicacies. You should consider it. Amidst the cheers of the crowd, the muscular young man followed Lin Xian and Situ Jing away. F***CK. Another idiot. Sigh, what a pity. Such a good bodyguard. The group of people sighed. The Situ clan is really lucky. This is Lin Xian. Big brother Lin. Big brother, how should I address you? Situ Jing asked. Dongfang Xiong. The young man smiled. Looking at him, if he wore a beast skin coat, he would be no different from a bear. The three of them walked to the shop and started to pack up, preparing to enter the mountain. 5 days later, the group set off. Their luggage was simple. Most of their things were placed in their storage rings. However, because the middle-aged man, Situ Tao, was not feeling well, they brought along a rank 4 sprinting beast. This beast's attack power was not strong, but it had a special ability. Its body was huge, and the bones on its back were like a house for people to rest in. Just like that, the group entered the mountain. At the same time, the other guilds also began to take action. The forest was vast, and all kinds of demonic beasts ran amok. If it was a normal day, it would be impossible to see so many demonic beasts. It seemed that there was indeed something unusual in the mountains. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. Situ Tao was originally worried, but when he saw Dongfang Xiong kill a type 5 mountain hound with a single punch, he immediately calmed down. Not only that, but he also admired Lin Xian even more. Because of Lin Xian's guidance, they were always able to avoid the powerful demonic beasts, making the journey much easier. The other guilds were not so lucky. As soon as they entered the forest, they encountered a pack of demon wolves. Immediately, many people were injured. The Dafeng mountain range was very wide. With their speed, it would probably take them a month to walk out of it. During this period of time, Lin Xian had never forgotten to comprehend wind concept and lightning concept. Coupled with Lord Alcohol's guidance, his improvement was godly. It's getting late. Let's stop and rest, Situ Tao said. Lin Xian nodded and began to look for a safe place. In this mountain range, finding a safe terrain was very important. Otherwise, if they encountered a pack of demonic beasts, they would be in trouble. It's them? Lin Xian was surprised when he saw the people from the Dragon Gate Guild. I found a good place. Follow me. He smiled. Dongfang Xiong carried a huge mountain-splitting axe on his back and 2 dead demonic beasts on his shoulders. He followed behind Lin Xian with a silly smile. Situ Jing supported her father and walked in the middle. Soon, they arrived at a flat area with a few caves around it. There are actually people here? Situ Tao's expression changed when he saw the people from the Dragon Gate Guild. Brother Lin, why don't we change locations? No need. I've already checked. This is the safest place in a radius of tens of miles, Lin Xian said slowly. Yes, Brother Lin is right. I think this place is very good. Dongfang Xiong was very satisfied. He threw the prey on his shoulders to the ground and prepared to clean them. This is the territory of the Dragon Gate Guild. You think you can behave so atrociously? A bald man snorted. Situ Tao, I think you don't want to live anymore. Situ Jing was so frightened that she trembled. Situ Tao smiled and said, Everyone, I'm really sorry. There's no other place around here. We'll just stay for one night. We won't disturb you. No, we have to talk about guild secrets tonight. The others can't be here. Yes, quickly scram. Also, these two demonic beasts are not bad. Leave them for us for dinner. The people from the Dragon Gate Guild were very overbearing. Not only did they want to chase away Lin Xian and the others, they also wanted to take the food. Sidu Jing and her father looked at Lin Xian, but the two of them didn't notice anything. Lin Xian sighed. He patted Dongfang Xiong's shoulder and said, Brother Stong, someone wants to steal your food. What? Dongfang Xiong suddenly stood up and stomped his feet on the ground. Who dares to steal my things? Ka ka ka. The ground trembled. Countless cracks spread out under Dongfang Xiong's feet and covered the ground in an instant. It was as if an earthquake had just occurred. The people from the Dragon Gate Guild were shocked as they stared blankly at the scene. Some of the harmonious spirit realm warriors also frowned. With their eyes, they could see that this attack was purely physical strength. This guy is so scary. They looked at each other and shook their heads slightly. They didn't want to provoke such a strong enemy when they were outside. All right, you can stay here, but don't disturb us, an old man said in a deep voice. Situ Jing and her father were relieved and settled down to rest. Dongfang Xiong continued to clean up the demonic beasts. Lin Xian looked at the cracks on the ground and praised in his heart. Dongfang Xiong's body was definitely not weaker than his silver lightning physique. One had to know that his silver lightning mark was cultivated through countless lightning strikes. Interesting guy. Lin Xian's lips curved up slightly. He also sat down and cultivated. Normally, he would cultivate the longevity art at this time. As long as he broke through the second level of the longevity art, he would be able to enter the harmonious spirit realm. At that time, the true power of the longevity art would be revealed. After a while, the smell of barbecued meat drifted over. I'm done. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and laughed. Smells so good. Situ Jing exclaimed and ran to the barbecued meat. Behind her, Situ Tao also walked over slowly. Lin Xian took out 3 jars of spirit wine and placed them on the ground. The group began to eat the meat and drink the wine. Beside them, the people from the Dragon Gate Guild saw Lin Xian and the others' food and the dried meat in their hands. They immediately felt unhappy. Some of them were even drooling. It's you. Quickly give us 10 jars of good wine. The bald man looked at the wine jars with shining eyes. Sorry, there's no share for you here, Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Kid, don't be too arrogant. Do you really think that we, the Dragon Gate Guild, are easy to bully? The bald man sneered. If you want to spend the night here peacefully, then give us 10 jars of good wine. Chapter 361. Brat, if you don't hand over the wine, I'll cut you down. The bald man took out a shiny long blade. You want a drink? Lin Xian laughed. Who was the one who threatened us earlier? Who was the one who didn't allow us to stay here? With your attitude earlier, you still want a drink? Is your head kicked by a donkey? What? I let you stay here because I pity you, but you don't know what's good for you. The bald man shouted angrily. Behind him, a few warriors quickly walked over. They were all half-step harmonious spirit realm warriors. When they stood together, they formed a terrifying aura. Don't fight. Don't hurt our friendship. Situ Tao said with a trembling voice. I'll give you this cup of wine. Are you trying to dismiss a beggar? The bald man knocked over the wine cup. Get lost. Or die. Lin Xian's eyes were gloomy. Dongfang Xiong also stood up. Go. Beat him to death. The bald man was furious. Although he was afraid of Dongfang Xiong, he believed that his men could handle him. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. A few figures pounced on Lin Xian. Their attacks were very vicious. Buzz. The green sword light flickered like a gust of wind, faintly discernible. When Lin Xian retracted his sword, the martial artists screamed as they were sent flying. What? The pupils of the elders of the Dragon Gate Guild shrank. They unconsciously stood up. What did you see? One of the elders asked in a low voice. I didn't see it. It was too fast. The elder's eyelids were trembling. As a harmonious spirit realm warrior, he didn't see Lin Xian's sword clearly. This kind of thing was hard to believe. You dare to hurt them. He's rebelling. He's rebelling. The bald man screamed. Men, kill him for me. Get the hell back. One of the elders moved and slapped the bald man away. Then, he smiled and bowed to Lin Xian. My men are ignorant. Please forgive them. I don't want this kind of thing to happen a second time, Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Situ Jing and her father were stunned. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that the lawless Dragon Gate Guild would apologize to them. This was something that they could not even dream of. After the old man left, Dongfang Xiong chuckled and said, I didn't expect little brother Lin's swordsmanship to be so exquisite. If there's a chance in the future, we must exchange pointers. The four of them drank wine and ate meat until midnight. In the second half of the night, everyone fell asleep. Lin Xian sat cross-legged and continued cultivating. Rustle. Sha. Sha. Suddenly, there was a slight sound all around, as if something was walking. Lin Xian was the first to open his eyes, followed by Dongfang Xiong, and then the elders of the Dragon Gate Guild. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he used his eye technique to scan the surroundings. Soon, his expression darkened. Demonic beast horde. Not good, there's a beast king. Cries of alarm rang out as everyone was startled awake. Lin Xian did not dare to delay. He summoned Little Gold and called out to Dongfang Xiong and Situ Jing. Let's go. The few of them rode on Little Gold, who jumped into the demonic beast horde. With another jump, it left the demonic beast horde. Roar. Roars rang out as countless demonic beasts pounced on Little Gold. Dominating the world, Dongfang Xiong punched out with both his fists, and the terrifying power blasted the demonic beasts around him into smithereens. Lin Xian flicked his finger and unleashed the Tempest Sword Ripple. The fine green sword chi was like a ripple that quickly spread out. Any demonic beast that came into contact with the Tempest Sword Ripple was sliced in half. The two of them did not dare to continue fighting, so they followed Little Gold and fled into the distance. The people of the Dragon Gate Guild were not so lucky. They were surrounded by countless demonic beasts and were quickly drowned. Behind the demonic beast horde, there was a huge black demonic python. It was dozens of meters long, and the black scales on its body were like cold metal. On the head of the black python sat a figure in red robes. If one took a closer look, they would realize that this person was very strange. He had the body of a human, but the head of a poisonous snake. His long neck was like a snake's body, constantly twisting. If Lin Xian was here, he would definitely recognize him. This kind of strange creature had a strange name. It was called the Crimson Black Demonic Tribe. Trying to run? This demonic beast spoke in human language. His body swayed, twisting in the air like a poisonous snake, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Lin Xian and the rest sat on Little Gold's back and quickly escaped from the demonic beast horde. Some of the demonic beasts that chased them were killed by him and Dongfang Xiong, so they were temporarily safe. Why are there so many demonic beasts? Lin Xian was puzzled. Are there a lot of demonic beasts recently? Yes. Situ Tao nodded slowly. Since 2 months ago, the demonic beasts in the Dafeng mountain range started to gather. Some uncommon demonic beasts also came out from the depths of the mountains. 2 months ago, Lin Xian was puzzled. This was around the same time as the appearance of the Crimson Black Demonic Tribe. Could it be? He remembered how the Crimson Black Demonic Tribe helped the Black Dragon sect stir up trouble. It seems that even the Tianshan Kingdom will not be peaceful. Lin Xian sighed. The Black Dragon sect was about to revive. He could not stop it at all. Perhaps it would not be long before the black dragon sect's shadow appeared in the entire Tianan region. When that time came, it would be a true disaster. Only by quickly finding the great dragon sword could they protect themselves in this chaotic world. Lin Xian yearned for the power of the great dragon sword even more. Just as he was thinking, Dongfang Xiong's expression suddenly changed. Dodge. He waved his hand and pushed Situ Jing and his son to the side. Rumble. Where they were originally standing, the ground suddenly split open. A blood-red snake's head stretched out, its triangular tongue flicking out. Good stuff. I want to eat snake soup tomorrow. Dongfang Xiong yelled and stomped his foot. Instantly, the ground trembled. A terrifying force rushed toward the red snake's head. Lin Xian also recovered in an instant. He pulled out the broken autumn scar and slashed out a thick green sword chi. Boom, boom, boom. The ground sank. The terrifying force in the green sword chi missed. The red snake's head disappeared. Little White, come out. Lin Xian summoned the little white monkey and let it and Little Gold protect the Situ father and son. Meanwhile, he used his soul power to scan the surroundings. Kiki, I haven't eaten human flesh in a long time. I miss it. A sinister voice echoed in the forest. Dongfang Xiong and Lin Xian both turned around and saw a monster standing not far away. It had a human body and a snake's head. It was wearing a red robe. What is this? Dongfang Xiong was stunned. He scratched his head and said, I don't like to eat human-shaped things. You want to eat me? Interesting human. The red-robed demon laughed. Its dark green eyes stared at Dongfang Xiong. On the side, Lin Xian was shocked. Crimson black demon. What? Demon? Dongfang Xiong was very excited. In the distance, the Situ father and son were scared pale. However, with the protection of the little white monkey and Little Gold, the two of them were very safe. You actually know where I came from. Interesting. The red-robed demon spat out its long tongue. I hope you two don't disappoint me. Chapter 362. The red-robed demon spoke arrogantly, not putting Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong in his eyes at all. Demonic qi filled the air. His strength should be equivalent to an intermediate harmonious spirit. Lin Xian's eyes flashed as he identified the red-robed demon's strength. The harmonious spirit realm was divided into 4 small realms: early, intermediate, late, and peak. The gap between each small realm was huge. This gap was similar to the gap between the realms before the harmonious spirit realm. It could be said to be the difference between heaven and earth. A mid-harmonious spirit realm warrior could easily kill several early harmonious spirit realm warriors. Lin Xian was only a half-step harmonious spirit realm warrior and Dongfang Xiong was an early harmonious spirit realm warrior, so the red-robe demon didn't put them in his eyes. He was only thinking about how to kill these two. Little brother Lin, I want to do it myself, Dongfang Xiong said with a grin. All right. Lin Xian shrugged and stood to the side. Seeing this, the red-robed demon's demonic qi instantly shrunk. It was strange that someone dared to look down on him. Good, very good. I will use the cruelest method to kill you. The red-robed demon sneered. A group of idiots. You have never seen a demon before. Of course you don't know how powerful we are. Before he finished his words, the red snake opened its mouth and spat out countless wind blades. The air was cut open and huge cracks appeared on the ground. This kind of power was far beyond an early harmonious spirit realm warrior. Clank. However, such a sharp attack only created sparks when it hit Dongfang Xiong's body. His weak-colored muscles were not damaged at all. Hee, delightful. Dongfang Xiong laughed foolishly. You should have a taste of my power. Dongfang Xiong took out the mountain-splitting axe from his back and held it tightly with both hands, chopping down with all his strength. A strong wind blew, and everything in front of him was covered by the huge axe. Ka. Before the huge axe fell, everything in front of him had already turned into dust. The red-robed demon turned his head. His dark green eyes were filled with seriousness. He actually felt the threat of death. How is this possible? He is just an early harmonious spirit realm kid. 10,000 miles snake. 8 dark red snakes flew out from his body and merged with the spiritual qi outside, constantly growing bigger. Soon, they grew into 8 gigantic pythons. 2 of them bit towards the shiny axe, while the other 4 attacked Dongfang Xiong from different directions. Of the remaining 2, one ran towards Lin Xian and the other towards Situ Jing and her son. The red-robed Yao was actually planning to kill everyone with a single move. Hee, overbearing heavenly axe. Dongfang Xiong still had a silly smile on his face, but his aura had undergone an astonishing change. It was as if a primordial giant was holding a heavenly axe and chopping down with all his might. It was as if the heavens and earth were about to be split apart. Boom! As the axe fell, the 200-meter-long pythons were split into 2 halves. The yellow axe blade flew forward at high speed, violently chopping towards the red-robed Yao. On the other side, Lin Xian unsheathed his broken sword. It was as if silver lightning was dancing in the air, swift and fierce. When the silver light fell, a transparent bloody hole appeared on the python's 7-inch body. The huge body collapsed with a loud crash. This was a swordsman. If he did not make a move, it would be fine, but if he did, it would be a fatal blow. Moreover, Lin Xian had already touched the edge of the thunder concept with that strike. Behind him, the little white monkey was jumping around with the cold star dagger in its hand. It had already resolved the danger. This monkey was very mysterious. Lin Xian had never seen it cultivate, but its strength had increased rapidly. Even now, Lin Xian did not know where its bottom line was. Bang! Bang! After the red-robed Yao blasted away Dongfang Xiong's attack, he realized that the 8 pythons he had summoned were all dead. He had seen Dongfang Xiong's power, but he was extremely surprised by the performance of Lin Xian and the little white monkey. It seems that I've underestimated you. With that, he took a step forward, and his Yao Qi soared into the sky. The shocking aura covered the sky, and the red-robed Yao also underwent a shocking change. His body no longer looked like a human, but was formed by countless red and black venomous snakes. He looked terrifying. He stretched out his hand, and his fingers turned into 5 pythons. They opened their bloody mouths and bit down. Boom! Dongfang Xiong was sent flying. Although there were no injuries on his body, he could not withstand the power. Damn it again! Dongfang Xiong patted the dirt off his body and charged forward again with his axe. I'll help you. Let's end this quickly. Lin Xian turned into a bolt of lightning and charged forward. From the attack just now, he analyzed that the strength of this demon was 30% stronger than martial artists of the same level. Moreover, his moves were strange, and Dongfang Xiong could not break through immediately. Lin Xian did not want to spend too much time here. After all, there were Yao beasts all around, and a second Yao clan member could come at any time. The 2 of them attacked together, forming a joint attack. The overbearing heavens axe formed a fierce wind with the power to split mountains and rivers. Lin Xian used the sword-drawing technique, and the power of wind and thunder merged, increasing the power by several times. Before the attack arrived, the red-robed Yao clan member's body reacted. It was an instinctive reaction, and Yao beasts were the most sensitive. Poof! Sika! The overbearing heavens axe sent one of his arms flying, and the wind-thunder sword-drawing technique cut his waist. Phew! Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief, but his expression changed immediately. That's not right. He suddenly retreated, and silver thunder patterns appeared on his body. There was no blood, not a trace of blood. If the body was cut in half, there should be blood spurting out, but there was no blood on the red-robed Yao clan member. Even if he was a Yao clan member, there should be blood, unless he was not injured. The moment the silver thunder patterns appeared on his body, the severed part of the red-robed Yao clan member turned into countless venomous snakes, flicking their scarlet tongues. Under an unknown force, the severed arm was reattached to his body. At his waist, countless red snakes appeared on both ends of the severed part. They intertwined with each other, forming a complete body once again. Boom! A ferocious python head formed in the air with a dangerous force, sending Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong flying. Everything happened in an instant. Lin Xian had just finished using the silver thunder body when he was sent flying. The attack was formed by Yao Qi, and it was currently destroying Lin Xian's body. Fortunately, he had the silver thunder patterns, which could resist the Yao Qi. Otherwise, Even if it was another mid-harmonious spirit realm warrior, they would have been seriously injured by this attack. Buzz. The great dragon sword intent in his body trembled, and a sharp sword chi flew out from his body, forming a ring of sword light that destroyed the Yao Qi. Lin Xian turned around and looked at Dongfang Xiong, who was beside him. Dongfang Xiong's face was pale, but the Yao Qi on his body had been removed. His body was also unscathed, which was enough to prove that his body was abnormally strong. They are not dead? The red-robed Yao clan member was surprised. His dark green eyes moved. When he found that Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong were not dead, and there were no external injuries, his snake face suddenly became very ugly. It seems like you won't know how powerful I am if I don't use my true strength. Chapter 363. Lowly humans, you've surprised me, but the show ends here. If nothing unexpected happened, these two people must be human genius martial artists. Killing such people would be much more satisfying than killing other martial artists. You talk too much. I think I need to cut your tongue out, Lin Xian snorted. Fried tongue, I like it, Dongfang Xiong said with a smile. Die. The red-robed demon was furious. His arms shook and turned into a giant python, charging at the two. A sinister and cold aura enveloped the area. Lin Xian felt his spiritual power being blocked. Gale Lightning Sword. Waving the broken sword, Lin Xian used his strongest move. A giant sword appeared in the sky. Ancient inscriptions were carved on the blade, and it fell with a mysterious aura. Beside him, Dongfang Xiong also used the hegemonic axe. The dazzling golden axe cleaved the sky into pieces. The two ultimate moves slashed at the red-robed demon, and terrifying energy surged toward him. Impossible. How can they use such powerful attacks? The red-robed demon's expression changed. This kind of attack was enough to threaten his life, not to mention two at the same time. Run. He could no longer summon the will to resist. His body turned into thousands of poisonous snakes, fleeing in all directions. Rumble. Mountains and rivers shattered, and the ground collapsed. It was doomsday. Strong winds blew, and trees were uprooted. Let's go. Lin Xian and the others didn't stop. They quickly left with the Situ father and son. After a long time, a terrifying pit appeared in the ground. It was so dark that it couldn't be seen. At the edge of the pit, a palm-sized dark red snake quickly escaped. Half a month later, Lin Xian and the others walked out of the Dafeng mountain range. What rich spiritual energy. Lin Xian's first reaction after arriving at Dragonstar Kingdom was that the spiritual energy here was very rich. As expected of a kingdom, the spiritual energy here was much richer than in Tianshan Kingdom. How do we get there? Lin Xian asked. Go east for 500 miles. There's a city there, Situ Tao said. Their running beast had been eaten long ago, and now it was sitting on Xiaojin. Lin Xian patted lightly, and Xiaojin turned into a streak of golden light and jumped towards the east. This was the border of the Dragonstar Strong Country, and there were all sorts of people here. There were lone rangers, and there were also groups. One of the wild wolves took a fancy to the extraordinary Xiaojin and wanted to snatch him away. Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong fought with them and beat them away. However, his heart was filled with astonishment. The cultivation of these people was uneven. The highest cultivation was at the early stage of the harmonious spirit realm, and the weakest was at the 7th level of the spiritual sea realm. However, the combat strength of these people was beyond imagination. The early harmonious spirit realm warrior wasn't any weaker than a mid-harmonious spirit realm warrior. Moreover, even that martial artist at the 7th level of spirit sea level had the strength of a half-step harmonious spirit. Lin Xian had never seen such a situation in the heavenly mountain kingdom. As expected of a powerful country, it is not just a little bit stronger than the Tianshan kingdom. Lin Xian felt that even if he was in the Dragonstar Strong Country, he wouldn't have much of an advantage against the younger generation. Along the way, Lin Xian's thoughts seemed to have been confirmed. This was the golden age of martial arts. This was the heaven of the strong. From Situ Tao, he learned that the Dragonstar Strong Country had a vast territory that was several times the size of the Tianshan Kingdom. Here, there were several top forces, and each of them could sweep through the Tianshan Kingdom. One country, 2 sects, 3 sections. These 6 forces were the top existences of the Dragonstar country, controlling most of the resources here. Below them, there were the 4 great clans, who were also the overlords of a region. These were things that everyone in the Dragonstar country knew. Situ Tao had been running around doing business for many years, so he knew a lot about the Dragonstar country. Lin Xian had a general understanding of the forces here. If nothing unexpected happened, the geniuses participating in the sacred True Dragon Gathering would be chosen from these forces. The closer they got to the city, the more martial artists there were. During this time, there were already several groups of people staring at the golden frog that Lin Xian was sitting on. Little brother Lin, why don't we get down? You should put away this demonic beast. Situ Tao was a bit worried. Those people are all thugs. They specialize in robbing caravans at the border. We should be careful. Okay. Lin Xian had just arrived and didn't want to cause too much trouble. The 4 landed and Lin Xian put away Little Gold. However, the little white monkey insisted on not going in, so Lin Xian couldn't do anything about it. Although he put away Little Gold, the people behind didn't give up and continued to follow Lin Xian's group. Finally, a group of people stopped Lin Xian. Brother, you don't look familiar. A man with a scar on his face said coldly. What? I can't come just because I'm unfamiliar. Lin Xian's expression was calm. Good kid. You have guts. The scarred man laughed. We are very interested in your golden frog and want to buy it. How about this? You name a price, we won't bargain. Situ Tao's body trembled. His eyes were filled with fear. He knew this group of people. They were called the Lion Group, and the scarred man was the Mad Blade Gue Jiancho from the Netherworld. His cultivation had reached the peak of early harmonious spirit realm, and he had a top profound rank treasure blade. Not many people could be his opponent. Whenever a caravan met him, they would obediently hand over a large amount of spirit stones for peace. Now that they were targeted by these people, Situ Tao's heart was filled with despair. They didn't have that many spirit stones. How could they hand it over? I'm sorry, Little Gold is my friend. I won't sell it. Lin Xian shook his head. Kid, my big brother said that he would buy it because of you. Be smart and hand over that demonic beast. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving here alive. A tall and skinny man with an iron rod shouted coldly. The iron rod in his hand shook, turning the ground 10 meters around him into powder. What a terrifying strength. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head. He could see that the iron rod only shattered the surface of the ground. As for the stones below, it didn't damage them at all. To achieve this kind of technique, one would need an extremely high level of control. It was beyond Lin Xian's expectation that a bandit group could have such an expert. However, this kind of ability was not enough to threaten Lin Xian. I won't give you Little Gold. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you. The sword light flashed in Lin Xian's eyes. Sword chi soared from his body. It was extremely sharp. Even his aura changed. An expert? The scarred man was surprised. The young man with the iron rod also narrowed his eyes. They had lived on the edge of a blade for many years, so they still had this kind of eyesight. Lin Xian's aura was like that of a swordsman, although he didn't have a sword in his hand. On the side, Dongfang Xiong was also rubbing his palms. Eating and fighting were 2 of his favorite things. To be able to spar with an expert was something he couldn't ask for more. You guys, who wants to fight? Dongfang Xiong smiled foolishly. You're courting death. The man with the iron rod was furious. Although Lin Xian's performance was very strong, they weren't easily intimidated. The tall and skinny man suddenly jumped up, the iron rod in his hand glowing, and he swung it at Dongfang Xiong's head. Chapter 364. The lanky man attacked fiercely, causing the air to explode. The iron rod seemed to be as thick as an arm, but it was as heavy as a mountain. Good one. Dongfang Xiong laughed and punched out with his right fist. There were no flashy moves or flashes of light. It was a solid punch that landed on the iron rod. Clang! An ear-piercing metallic sound was heard, causing the air around to tremble, forming wave-like ripples. Lin Xian used his spirit energy to cover Situ Tao and his son, ensuring their safety. Otherwise, the shockwave alone would have killed them both. Under everyone's shocked gaze, The lanky man was sent flying, and his iron rod fell to the ground. What? The Lion Regiment members were shocked. Their eyeballs almost popped out. The scarred man frowned as well, looking at Dongfang Xiong with a gloomy gaze. The tall and skinny man was his trusted subordinate. He was an early harmonious spirit expert. Although he looked thin and weak, his strength was astonishing. Ordinary harmonious spirit realm warriors were no match for this lanky man in terms of pure strength. However, such an expert was sent flying by someone. Moreover, it was with pure physical strength. How could they not be shocked? Brat, how dare you hurt him? The scarred man's tone was stern. As the leader of the regiment, he had to take action. A jet-black treasured blade appeared in the air. The scarred man held the treasured blade in his hand, his body emitting a dazzling blade light. You want to fight? I'll play with you. Lin Xian took a step forward, the sword energy on his body surging as if it was going to pierce the sky. This aura was very strong, suppressing the black blade light in the sky. What? This is impossible. The Lion Regiment members exclaimed. That was their leader, the famous wild blade Gue Jianqiu. But now, he was suppressed by a young man in terms of aura. Ghost. This was definitely a ghost. The scarred man was also shocked. He felt that he was not facing a young man, but a peerless divine sword with incomparable sharpness. Sword intent. He immediately thought of this terrifying intent realm. One should know that sword intent and blade intent were both unparalleled offensive intents. It was very difficult for ordinary people to comprehend them. Even he had not comprehended blade intent. At this moment, the knife-scarred man actually had the thought of retreating. Even he couldn't believe that he was actually afraid of a young man. However, his body betrayed him. However, at this moment, a loud voice came from the sky again. Situ Tao, you guys are actually here. Hearing this voice, the scar-faced man quickly withdrew his saber light. Lin Xian also dispersed his sword intent, turning back into a handsome young man. Everyone looked up and saw a huge black shadow descending rapidly from the sky. It was a demonic bird. Its entire body was fiery red, and the feathers on its body burned like flames. There were 3 figures standing on top of it. At this moment, they were looking down. Pu. The flaming bird landed on the ground, blowing away the surrounding rocks. The eyes of the old man in the middle were like lightning as he quickly scanned the surroundings. The Lion Regiment? When he saw the scar-faced man, he frowned. Shifeng had heard of this team before. Their leader, Mad Blade Ghost Grimace, in particular, was rumored to be extremely difficult to deal with. However, he was not afraid of these people. Mad Blade, how dare you set your eyes on the Jiang family's goods? You've got guts. The Jiang family? The scar-faced man's face darkened when he heard these 2 words. He squeezed out an ugly smile and said, the information this time was wrong. We really didn't know that these goods belong to the Jiang family. We've offended you. We'll take our leave first. We'll definitely apologize to the Jiang family in the future. With that, he quickly left with a group of people. He looked as if he was escaping. Humph. The old man in the middle snorted coldly and did not pursue the matter. However, the 2 young men beside him looked at him with disdain. The Jiang family? Lin Xian was surprised. The powerful scar-faced man and the others were actually so afraid of these 2 words. It seemed that the Jiang family was very powerful. Oh right, the Jiang family. I wonder if Jiang Sanfeng is from the Jiang family? Lin Xian suddenly remembered the person that old man Deke had asked him to look for. However, it was not convenient for him to ask about the current situation. Forget it. Since the Jiang family is so powerful, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Lin Xian calmed down. Situ Tao, did you bring the goods? The old man asked. Yes, Situ Tao replied respectfully. All right, come on up. The old man waved his hand and brought Lin Xian and the others onto the flame bird. Up. With a command, the huge flame bird flapped its wings again and soared into the sky. On the back of the bird, the 3 Jiang family members stood in front without looking back. Situ Tao and his son sat there uneasily. They were only Sea of Soul Realm martial artists and had never sat on such a demonic beast before. However, Dongfang Xiong was very excited. His bell-like eyes stared at the back of the bird, and he kept muttering. Lin Xian's soul power was abnormal. When he heard Dongfang Xiong's words, he could not help but laugh. This guy was actually thinking about how to eat this demonic beast. Moreover, Lin Xian was not the only one who heard him. One of the Jiang family members in front suddenly turned around and stared coldly at Dongfang Xiong. Hee. Dongfang Xiong scratched the back of his head and smiled foolishly. Country bumpkin. That disciple looked back with disdain. The flame bird flew very fast. In a moment, they saw a city. However, it was obvious that they could not fly in the city. The Jiang family elder let the flame bird land, and the group walked into the city. The city of Dragonstar Nation was much bigger and more prosperous than Heavenly Mountain Nation. In the northwest of the city, there was a cluster of pavilions, all of which belonged to the Jiang family. Lin Xian and the others were arranged to stay, while Situ Tao followed the old man to hand over the goods. Since they had nothing to do, Lin Xian and the others planned to walk around the city and see if there was anything fun to do. The streets were very wide and were paved with huge blue stones that were abnormally hard. There were many snack bars on both sides, but Dongfang Xiong was not interested. His favorite food was still demonic beasts. On the other hand, Situ Jing's face was flushed red with excitement. Sigh, almost again. Damn it, we lost money again. Lin Xian noticed many martial artists walking over with bitter faces, their eyes full of unwillingness. What's wrong with these people? Dongfang Xiong scratched his head. I don't know, but they all seem to be coming from the front, Lin Xian said. Should we go and take a look? Sure. Situ Jing was overjoyed. The three of them walked over quickly. At the end of the street, there was a black mass of people, making the surroundings impenetrable. Inside, cheers could be heard from time to time, but most of the time, it was a sigh. What are they doing? Lin Xian and the others were curious. So many people can't get in. Situ Jing looked disappointed. Brother Xiong, it's up to you, Lin Xian said with a smile. Don't worry, leave it to me, Dongfang Xiong said with a grin. After that, he used his large hands that were like iron pincers to forcibly tear the crowd apart. Lin Xian and Li Qie followed behind him and easily squeezed through the crowd. Yeah, what's this? Lin Xian came to the innermost area and saw a magical scene. Chapter 365. After squeezing into the crowd, Lin Xian saw a martial artist in front of him who was attacking a black stone tablet. The man's punches were so fast that they left an afterimage in the air. Bang! A deep sound was heard, and the ground around him trembled slightly. However, the huge black stone tablet did not move at all. However, on the surface of the stone tablet, there were 4 bright red stars that were shining brightly. Sigh, another failure. The crowd sighed and lamented. What is this? Situ Jing asked curiously. A young martial artist who was closest to them said, This is a strength-testing stone. It can test a martial artist's strength. Do you see those 10 vertical stars? Each star represents 10,000 Jin. When your strength reaches the required level, those stars will light up. Then why did you say that I failed? Lin Xian asked. This is a strength-testing stone. Each test will cost 100 mid-grade spirit stones, but if someone can light up 6 stars, the stall owner will give them 10,000 mid-grade spirit stones for free. I see. Lin Xian understood. To light up 6 stars, one must have at least 60,000 pounds of strength. Even a harmonious spirit realm martial artist would find it hard to achieve this. Spirit transformation realm martial artists would not play this game, so the stall owner was obviously trying to make a profit. One should know that mid-grade spirit stones were hard currency. 100 mid-grade spirit stones for a test was not cheap. However, this was the Dragon Star Empire. There were plenty of rich martial artists here. Soon, another martial artist walked out. He was a man in his 40s. His face was slightly yellow, and his clothes were thin. He looked like a teacher. Can he do it? The crowd was puzzled. It's hard to say. I can't sense his aura. He might be an expert. Someone analyzed. The middle-aged man rolled up his sleeves, revealing his yellowed wrist. He clenched his 5 fingers together and waved his palm lightly, as if a cloud had floated past. No way. What is he doing? Someone sneered. But in the next moment, everyone was stunned. Buzz, buzz. The palm wind hit the black strength-testing stone, and the stars on it lit up quickly. 1 star, 2 stars. The crowd held their breaths in anticipation. Buzz. When the 5th star lit up, everyone's hearts jumped to their throats. However, the 6th star did not light up. Sigh. We were so close. Everyone sighed again. Dongfang Xiong, on the other hand, was waiting with his bell-like eyes, looking eager to give it a try. However, at this time, a few sneers came from the side. What a bunch of trash. It's been so long, and no one has been able to strike out the 6th star. Hearing this, many people were angry. They had tried before, but all of them failed. Who are you calling trash? Many people glared at him. However, when they saw the person who spoke, many of them were stunned. Lin Xian also looked over curiously, only to see 3 young men standing not far to his left. They were dressed in luxurious clothes, and their faces were filled with arrogance. The word Jiang was painted on their chests. They are disciples of the Jiang family. Lin Xian frowned slightly. These people did not look like good people. So what if I'm talking about you? Trash is trash. One of the young men sneered. Those people did not dare to talk back, but their faces turned purplish black. If you're so good, then go ahead. It's not too late to mock others when you strike out the 6th star. There was a hint of anger in this voice. What did you say? That young man was angry that someone dared to talk back to him. He looked around and quickly locked onto the person who spoke. A young man in white held a folding fan in his hand and gently fanned it. His handsome face immediately attracted the attention of the female martial artists present. Beside him stood a woman. However, she wore a silver mask that covered her beautiful face. However, her exposed eyes were like the bright moon, very moving. Such a handsome young man and a mysterious woman quickly attracted everyone's attention. Were you the one who questioned me just now? The Jiang family disciple looked unfriendly. Everyone knows how to be sarcastic. If you want to mock others, show me your strength first. The young man in white smiled indifferently. Do you know who you're talking to? The Jiang family disciple sneered. Do you believe that I can make you stay here forever? This is Dragon Star Nation City, not your Jiang family's territory. The young man in white disagreed. Besides, you're just a small branch. What's there to be proud of? You. The 3 Jiang family disciples were enraged. In Qingshan City, they always kept their word, and no one dared to talk back to them. But now, someone actually dared to talk back to them. With a cold snort, a dangerous aura surged out from that disciple. Situ Jing was the closest, and her strength was weak, so she was hit by the aura. Lin Xian reacted quickly and cut off the aura with a finger and quickly protected Situ Jing. You dare to stop me? You're courting death. That Jiang family disciple suddenly turned his head and looked at Lin Xian with a cold gaze. The other 2 also looked over with killing intent in their eyes. Your aura hurt a child. Don't tell me you don't allow others to fight back? Lin Xian's face darkened. That's right. I don't think you're good people. Dongfang Xiong also said angrily. What did you say? The 3 of them were furious. Someone dared to talk back to them again. The surrounding warriors also looked on nervously. They knew that these 3 guys were the little tyrants of Qingshan City. Usually, they used their status as Jiang family disciples to bully men and women, but no one dared to provoke them. Today's situation would definitely make them furious. Who are these 3 people? They don't look familiar. Someone said in a low voice. Needless to say, they must be outsiders. How would the people of Qingshan City dare to find trouble with them? The 3 of you, kneel down and kowtow, and I'll spare your lives. Zhang Feng said with a glare. Are you a dog or something? Biting everyone you see. Lin Xian sneered. He was not afraid of such people. Biting people? Are you a dog demon? Quickly show your true form. I'm going to subdue you. Dongfang Xiong said with a serious face. Finally, someone in the crowd could not help but laugh. The others also tried their best to hold back their laughter, but the smiles on their faces were clearly visible. I'm going to kill you. Zhang Feng was furious. Someone actually dared to scold him. He must cut off his tongue. Brother, you're wrong. Calling him a dog, isn't that an insult to dogs? The young man in white said with a smile. The crowd laughed in surprise, and various expressions appeared on their faces. What was going on today? Why were there so many fierce people all of a sudden? First, Zhang Feng was called a dog demon. Now, he was even worse than a dog. I'm going to kill you. Zhang Feng shouted to the sky with a ferocious expression. The two of you attack. After saying that, the three of them were about to attack. Little brothers, listen to this old man's words. The stall owner came out and said quickly, this matter started because of the strength testing stone. Why don't we use the strength testing stone to solve it? What do you think? Chapter 366. The stall owner of the strength testing stone was a short old man with a goatee, and his eyes narrowed into slits. He smiled and said, little brothers, why don't we use the strength testing stone to settle this matter? Everyone was stunned and looked at the old man in shock. The other party was a disciple of the Zhang family. If they were angered, they would definitely lose their lives. Even so, everyone was very interested in the old man's suggestion. Until now, no one had been able to hit 6 stars. They wondered if these people could succeed. Lin Xian did not think much of it, but Dongfang Xiong was abnormally excited. His bell-sized eyes bloomed with endless brilliance. The white-robed youth also nodded in agreement. I have no problem, but I'm afraid the Zhang family disciples won't dare to accept the challenge. Humph, why wouldn't they dare? Zhang Feng sneered. Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. But if you lose, you'll be at my disposal. Then what if you lose? Lin Xian asked in a low voice. Are you joking? Brother Feng will lose? Another Zhang family disciple said. Since it's a bet, it's better to agree on it beforehand. Otherwise, someone might renege on the debt. The white-robed youth said slowly. What do you want? Zhang Feng asked back. We won't punish you, but in the future, if you meet us, you'll have to stay 10 meters away. Lin Xian said slowly. You're courting death. No one has ever dared to make such a request of me. Zhang Feng's face darkened. He was a disciple of the Zhang family. His body was very honorable. How could he avoid others? So you don't dare? The white-robed youth waved his fan. If you don't dare, then forget it. We won't force you. Who says I don't dare? Zhang Feng was anxious. There were so many people here. If he did not agree, others would definitely think too much. Okay, I agree. Zhang Feng's expression was full of confidence. I won't lose. Cut the crap. I can't wait. Dongfang Xiong rubbed his hands. Little brothers, the strength testing stone tablets rules are 100 mid-grade spirit stones each time. The old man with the goatee smiled. What? You dare to take our money? The Zhang family disciple stared. Everyone was stunned. This old man was really greedy. He even dared to earn money from the Zhang family. Was he not afraid of revenge? Sir, here are 100 mid-grade spirit stones. The young man in white handed over a bag of spirit stones. I'm not like some people who can't even afford 100 mid-grade spirit stones. I don't look like a disciple of a big family. It's only 100 spirit stones. I have plenty of them. Zhang Feng's expression was cold as he took out a bag of spirit stones from his storage ring. Lin Xian took out 2 bags of spirit stones and handed them to the short old man. Who's first? Dongfang Xiong asked. I'll go first. Zhang Feng took a step forward and arrived in front of the testing area. Looking at the cold strength measuring stone tablet, Zhang Feng secretly circulated his spirit energy and punched out. Suddenly, the air in front of him exploded, and the violent impact hit the black stone tablet. Wong. The black stone tablet trembled slightly, and stars lit up one after another. Everyone looks over curiously, wanting to see if this Zhang family disciple is able to hit out 6-star jades. The first 4 stars quickly lit up, and the 5th star was the last to light up, flickering with a dazzling red light. As everyone watched, the red light of the 5th star gradually deepened and finally turned purple. But the 6th star still did not light up. The surrounding cultivators hissed and sighed in disappointment. Failed. Even a Zhang family disciple failed. Is there really no one who can hit out 6-star jades? They could not be blamed for being disappointed. While Zhang Feng's reputation was not good, but everyone knew his power. He definitely surpassed martial artists of the same level. Impossible. When Zhang Feng saw the result, he immediately became anxious. There's a problem. There must be a problem. How can I only have 250 kilograms of strength? Zhang Feng did not believe it. He had used almost all his strength in that punch, but even so, he still did not hit out 6-star jades. Tell me, is there a problem with this? Zhang Feng pulled the old man with the goatee next to him. Little brother, there's definitely no problem with this strength measuring stone. The old man said in a panic, if you don't have the ability, then don't blame others. The white-robed young man sneered. What did you say? Zhang Feng roared. I said, if you don't have the ability, then don't find excuses. What strength measuring stone is broken? The white-robed young man sneered. Don't implicate the innocent. Don't forget that there are so many people here watching. You don't want the Jiang family's reputation to be tarnished, right? The white-robed young man said as he waved his fan. Jiang Feng threw the short old man to the side. I want to see how you can hit out 6-star jades. The white-robed young man smiled and slowly walked towards the strength measuring stone. His eyes focused, and a sharp aura was emitted from his body. The white-robed young man quickly waved his palm. Buzz. The terrifying palm landed on the black strength measuring stone, causing the ground to tremble slightly. The 5 stars on it quickly lit up. Under everyone's anxious attention, the 5th star shone brightly, and its color changed from red to purple and finally to black. But the 6th star still did not light up. It didn't light up? The white-robed young man frowned. How can this be? The eyes of the silver-masked woman in the distance were also filled with confusion. Everyone was in an uproar. They did not expect that even the white-robed young man could not hit out 6-star jades. What about 6-star jades? Zhang Feng sneered. You still think that there's no problem with the strength measuring stone? Or are you also a piece of trash? This fellow is obviously lying to everyone. He looked at the short old man with killing intent in his eyes. Daring to lie to him, Zhang Feng, is an unforgivable crime. The white-robed young man was puzzled. He believed in his own strength. That punch just now was definitely not as simple as 250 kilograms. But why didn't the 6th star light up? Is there really a problem with the strength measuring stone? Shaking his head, the white-robed young man turned to look at the short old man. It's none of my business. Little brothers, there's really no problem with the strength measuring stone. The short old man shrunk his body. There are still 2 more people. Maybe those 2 little brothers can hit out 6-star jades? If they can't, then it's not too late to punish me. Hearing this, everyone looked at Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong. But they ignored Lin Xian and focused their attention on Dongfang Xiong. There was no choice. Lin Xian's body was too thin and weak. Moreover, his cultivation did not even reach the harmonious spirit realm. How could such a person hit 6-star jades? On the other hand, Dongfang Xiong's muscles were filled with explosive power. He looked very promising. Maybe he could really hit 6-star jades? Zhang Feng looked at the 2 of them and said in a deep voice, All right, let's let them try. If they can't hit 6-star jades, I won't let you off. That's right, that's right. The short old man nodded. Don't worry, old man. I'm sure I can hit it. Dongfang Xiong grinned. Little brother Lin, you want to go first? Chapter 367. Lin Xian nodded and slowly walked in front of the strength testing stone and observed it carefully. His eyes flashed as he secretly used his eye technique, but he still did not find anything out of the ordinary. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian could only use the normal method to test his strength. Circulating the spiritual power in his body, he waved his right hand and a huge phantom of a mountain appeared. Seal of mountains and rivers. Lin Xian unleashed the power of mountains and rivers at the strength testing stone. Everyone was shocked as they did not expect that this seemingly weak youth could actually unleash such a terrifying attack. Boom! The strength testing stone glowed and 5 stars quickly lit up. The 5th star was bright red. Everyone was disappointed as even Zhang Feng could not compare to this level. But thinking about Lin Xian's cultivation, everyone was relieved. To be able to achieve such a result was already something to be proud of. The white-robed youth was disappointed and no longer paid attention to Lin Xian. Zhang Feng sneered. As expected, he is trash. No, he is even worse than trash. Dongfang Xiong revealed a strange expression. This strength was not like the Lin Xian he knew. Lin Xian's expression was indifferent as he did not use his full strength for this punch. But even so, according to his calculations, it should not be only 250 kilograms of strength. Is there really a problem with this strength testing stone? Lin Xian frowned. Who said that 6 stars must be 250 kilograms of strength? Lord Alcohol sneered. Lin Xian was stunned. Could it be? With Lord Alcohol's reminder, Lin Xian suddenly thought of a possibility as he looked at the short old man beside him. He saw the old man's body trembling as if he was afraid, but his eyes did not reveal any fear. Something is wrong. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. It is finally my turn. Dongfang Xiong jumped out impatiently. At this moment, everyone's gaze was on Dongfang Xiong as he was their last hope. Old thing, you better pray that he can hit 6 stars or you are dead. Zhang Fengguang looked at the short old man with a sinister expression. Relax, I will definitely be able to hit 6 stars. Dongfang Xiong grinned. Standing in front of the black testing stone, his tall body exploded with a series of popping sounds like beans being fried. In the next moment, his entire aura changed. His eyes became sharp and decisive, like a ferocious beast that had just woken up from a deep slumber. His original silly smile was replaced by a grave and stern expression. He raised his right fist slightly, and the muscles on it bulged like a dragon. Dongfang Xiong growled as his right fist suddenly punched out. The air exploded with a rumbling sound. It was as if a real mountain had landed on the ground. Strong winds blew in all directions, causing everyone to be unable to open their eyes. Boom! The strength-testing stone let out a deep sound, and the entire stone tablet started to tremble. Under everyone's horrified gazes, the stars above quickly lit up. 1, 2, 3. The 5th heart quickly lit up, turning from bright red to purple, and finally to black. After turning black, the 6 stars suddenly lit up. That dazzling red was like a red sun, illuminating the surroundings. It's lit up. It's really lit up. The 6th star is really lit up. Everyone exclaimed in surprise. Zhang Feng's face darkened, and the 2 Zhang family disciples beside him also looked uneasy, wishing they could leave this place immediately. Dongfang Xiong hit 6 stars, which meant that there was no problem with the strength testing stone. Then the problem was Zhang Feng's strength. Thinking that a Zhang family disciple, a harmonious spirit expert, was actually not as good as an unknown kid. Thinking of this, Zhang Feng had the urge to vomit blood. Beside him, the white-robed youth was also shocked. He carefully looked at Dongfang Xiong, and his eyes were filled with battle intent. What a terrifying strength. This guy's strength should be in strength. The white-robed youth thought. I am little one Zishu. How should I address you? The white-robed youth asked. My name is Dongfang Xiong, and this is little brother Lin Xian. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and smiled. However, everyone obviously ignored Lin Xian. Many people looked at Dongfang Xiong as if they were looking at a monster. No, I must have made a mistake just now. This time, I will definitely hit it. Zhang Feng gritted his teeth and said, as a disciple of the Zhang family, he could not lose to someone of unknown origin. Throwing out another bag of spirit stones, Zhang Feng walked in front of the strength-testing stone. His body emitted a blue light, as unfathomable as the ocean. The surrounding spirit energy crazily surged, forming a terrifying blue fist shadow behind him, emitting a terrifying aura. Break for me! Zhang Feng shouted angrily. The blue spirit energy wrapped around his fist, and he suddenly punched out. The blue fist shadow behind him followed his movement and quickly bombarded the strength-testing stone. Boom! An explosion sounded in the air, as if a mountain rock had exploded, causing the air to boil. Everyone looked again, wanting to see if Zhang Feng, who had used all of his strength, could hit the 6th star. However, everyone was disappointed. The 5th star turned from purple to black, like a black jade. But the sixth star still did not light up. Impossible. This is impossible. Why didn't I succeed? Zhang Feng's eyes showed a trace of panic. He had used all of his strength. Not only did he use all of his spirit energy, but he also used the surrounding spirit energy. He had absolute confidence in this punch. Furthermore, the force was definitely above 70,000 kilograms. However, why did the sixth star still not light up? Beside him, Lin Xian furrowed his brows as he fell into deep thought. With his outstanding spirit energy, he could naturally sense the strength of that punch. According to his deduction, although it was not as strong as Dongfang Xiong, it should be able to hit the sixth star. Damn it! How much strength is required to hit the sixth star? Lin Xian cursed inwardly. If I'm not wrong, the minimum requirement for the sixth star should be 50,000 kilograms of strength, Lord Alcohol said through voice transmission. 50,000 kilograms? Lin Xian almost jumped up. This was too terrifying. This kind of strength was very close to that of a spirit transformation realm expert. No wonder so many people could not hit the sixth star. Damn it, this thing actually requires 50,000 kilograms of strength. Then he thought that Dongfang Xiong was definitely not an ordinary person, since he could hit 50,000 kilograms of strength. What do you know? This strength testing stone was used to test disciples in ancient times. 6 stars is just a passing grade. It's not a big deal, Lord Alcohol said disdainfully. Lin Xian was speechless. How monstrous were ancient warriors? Although he had never seen them before, he knew that they were definitely not simple from Lord Alcohol's description. I wonder if I can hit the 6th star after using Silver Thunder Body? Lin Xian was eager to give it a try. Firstly, he wanted to test his true strength. Secondly, he wanted to prove to Lord Alcohol that he was not weaker than anyone else. Even if he were to face ancient warriors, he would not admit defeat. With that thought, Lin Xian threw out a bag of spirit stones and prepared to test again. Chapter 368. Seeing Lin Xian's eagerness to try, the others were stunned. Is this guy crazy? Isn't this a waste of money? Yeah, a half-step harmonious spirit kid. It's already very scary if he can hit 5 stars. Everyone discussed, they didn't think that Lin Xian could hit 6 stars. Zhang Feng saw Lin Xian's action and became even angrier. Get out of my way. What's a piece of trash like you doing? Lin Xian's face darkened. He looked at Zhang Feng coldly. It's not certain who's the trash. I advise you not to bite people like a mad dog. Kid, you're looking for death. How dare you talk to me like that? I'll kill you right now. Zhang Feng was furious. A half-step harmonious spirit kid dared to talk to him like that. Kneel down and apologize, or I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Zhang Feng released a powerful aura towards Lin Xian. What do you want? You'll have to ask me first if you dare to bully little brother Lin. Dongfang Xiong stood out. His tall body and fierce eyes made him look like a peerless beast that had appeared in the human world. Everyone thought of the scene when he hit 6 stars and felt an indescribable pressure. How is this a human? This is a beast in human form. Zhang Feng's face darkened. To be honest, he didn't have the confidence to deal with this big guy. Let's see what a piece of trash like you can do. Zhang Feng sneered. Lin Xian's face darkened slightly. This fellow had provoked him time and time again, causing a killing intent to well up in his heart. But he still managed to control his killing intent. Now that he was in a foreign country, he didn't dare to be careless, and this Zhang family seemed to be related to the person he was looking for. So Lin Xian didn't make a move. But if there was a chance, he wouldn't let Zhang Feng go. Thinking of this, he calmed down and quickly walked to the strength-testing stone. This time, he planned to use his real strength. The art of longevity in his body began to circulate, forming a powerful force. Silver lightning appeared on his body, making a crackling sound. The next moment, the surface of his body was covered with mysterious silver lightning runes, as if the god of thunder had descended. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. They felt an astonishing pressure from Lin Xian. Could it be that this fellow didn't use his full strength just now? The crowd found it hard to imagine. The white-robed youth was also surprised. He looked at Lin Xian with a serious expression. his eyes shining with a dazzling light. At the side, Jiang Feng's face became even darker. Lin Xian's aura made him feel extremely uneasy. Damn it, who the hell is this kid? How could he have such a martial skill? Only Dongfang Xiong grinned foolishly. He had been with Lin Xian for more than a month, so he naturally knew his strength. Lin Xian's physical strength wasn't any weaker than his. Furthermore, Dongfang Xiong knew that Lin Xian was also a swordsman. A swordsman's most powerful ability was, of course, his sword. I thought I was strong enough. I didn't expect there to be someone even stronger. Silver lightning crackled around Lin Xian's body, carrying an extremely dangerous aura. As he walked, he let out a thunderous sound. Clenching his right fist, Lin Xian took a step forward. His body slightly arched like a ferocious cheetah, ready to attack at any time. Boom! Lightning flashed as the silver fist landed on the strength-testing stone, letting out an explosive sound. Silver lightning surged, turning the surroundings into a sea of lightning. Occasionally, lightning leaked out, causing cracks to appear on the hard ground. After a while, the silver light dissipated, revealing a black strength-testing stone. The crowd looked at the strength-testing stone with anticipation. On the black strength-testing stone, the first 5 stars quickly lit up, and the 5th star instantly turned purplish-black. Buzz! Immediately after, the 6 stars on the stone suddenly lit up, emitting a dazzling light. It's here. The 6th star really appeared. Freak! Too freakish. Everyone cried out in alarm, their expressions stupefied. Hee, Brother Lin. Good job. Dongfang Xiong grinned. This guy is definitely not simple. The white-robed young man's expression changed slightly. For the first time, he looked at Lin Xian seriously. Half-step harmonious spirit cultivation, but his strength is frightening. That strike just now definitely exceeded 100,000 Jin. The white-robed young man's expression turned serious. When did such a young expert appear in Green Mountain City? Impossible. This guy can't hit 6 stars. Jiang Feng's expression was very ugly, as if he had eaten a dead fly. Too embarrassing. Someone who was weak, someone whom he viewed as trash, was actually able to hit out 6 stars. He tried twice, but he could only hit 5 stars. This result was too ironic. This was simply slapping his face. Not only did he lose face, but the Jiang family also lost face. Brat, what kind of shameful method did you use? If you know what's good for you, quickly say it. Otherwise, I'll kill you today. Jiang Feng tried his best to distort the truth. Yes, you must have used some shameful method. Little bastard, you're really shameless. The 2 Jiang family disciples beside him also shouted coldly. Shameful method? Lin Xian sneered. The 3 of you are really disappointing. It's fine if you don't have the strength. It's not shameful, but not admitting defeat and distorting the truth. This is shameful. It's really disappointing that the Jiang family has disciples like you. Lin Xian's words were sharp and merciless. You? What did you say? The 2 Jiang family disciples were angry. Do you believe that I won't cripple you right now? You can try. Lin Xian took a step forward. The silver lightning on his body turned into a silver dragon and swooped down. Boom! The 2 Jiang family disciples were frightened by this powerful force and sat on the ground. Their faces were as pale as paper. Good, good. The crowd cheered in a low voice. They had long disliked these 3 people, but because of the Jiang family's status, they didn't dare to do anything. However, Lin Xian's fierce counterattack made these people very happy. You dare to make a move against a Jiang family disciple? Jiang Feng was furious. His robe fluttered and was filled with terrifying spiritual energy. Don't think that being able to hit out 6 stars is something amazing. You only have great strength, but your cultivation is too weak. I can use my spiritual pressure to crush you to death. Now, I will give you a chance to live. Jiang Feng said arrogantly. Kneel down and break your arms, then I will spare your life. Jiang Feng had a high and mighty look. He didn't put Lin Xian in his eyes at all. Everyone was silent. Jiang Feng was indeed the same as the rumors. Not only was he arrogant, but he was also cruel. Being able to hit out 6 stars is nothing amazing. If we really fight, I can destroy you with one hand. Jiang Feng had unlimited confidence. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and said, "It is indeed nothing amazing, but you can't even hit out 6 stars. Aren't you too useless?" "I don't know. What qualifications do you have to be so arrogant? I am a Jiang family disciple. That is enough." Jiang Feng's voice was as cold as a blade. "Offending me will only result in death." "Jiang family?" Lin Xian laughed. "In the end, you are just a useless trash that relies on your family. Once you leave your family, you are nothing." What a sharp-tongued brat. "But no matter what you say today, you will not be able to escape death." Jiang Feng's face was malevolent like an injured beast. This was the pain in his heart. Now, it was mercilessly exposed by Lin Xian. A cold aura enveloped the surroundings. A terrifying blue fist image formed behind him. Coordinating with the surrounding spiritual energy, it blasted towards Lin Xian. Chapter 369. Jiang Feng was very powerful. A blue fist shadow formed behind him and blasted towards Lin Xian with a violent aura. Lin Xian didn't dodge. He just stood there quietly. "Why aren't you dodging?" Everyone was stunned and couldn't help but worry for him. Could it be that he intends to take it head-on? The young man in white guessed. "Humph, he must have been scared silly." The 2 disciples of the Jiang family sneered. "If you don't dodge, then die." A ferocious look appeared in Jiang Feng's eyes, and he channeled his spiritual power even more vigorously. He wanted to turn Lin Xian into minced meat with a single punch. Seeing the blue fist getting closer and closer, a mysterious rune suddenly appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. What followed was a powerful soul force. After Lin Xian became a Grade 3 inscription master, he once again used his eye technique to attack. Wong. An invisible energy wave quickly passed through the fist shadows and acted on Jiang Feng's body. Puff. Jiang Feng's body trembled, and the speed of his attack slowed down. The huge blue fist in the sky also quickly disappeared. This scene caused everyone to be stunned. Jiang Feng's face contorted as if he was in great pain. The blue spirit power in his body rumbled, and in the next moment, he actually broke through Lin Xian's pupil technique. Unorthodox sect. Die. Jiang Feng pounced like a wild beast. Lin Xian was surprised. His soul force was very strong. Ordinary harmonious spirit realm warriors were no match for him in terms of soul force. But this Jiang Feng was actually able to break through his eye technique attack, which really surprised him. As expected of the Dragon Star Empire, the strength of their martial artists is indeed formidable. Lin Xian once again experienced the strength of this country's martial artists, which was far beyond that of the Heavenly Mountain Empire. However, Lin Xian had more than one method. The inscriptions in his eyes changed rapidly, forming 3 flower patterns. An even more powerful illusion attack rushed towards Jiang Feng. With a blood-curdling scream, Jiang Feng finally couldn't hold on any longer, and his body collapsed. Like a puppet, he stood there with a pained expression on his face. Brother Feng, Brother Feng?" 2 of the Jiang family's disciples stepped forward and shouted crazily. Puff. Jiang Feng seemed to have suffered a heavy blow. He spat out a mouthful of blood and collapsed. What did you do to Brother Feng?" The 2 disciples screamed. Everyone was horrified, as if they had seen a ghost. They only saw Lin Xian glare at Jiang Feng, who stood there motionless. Then, they saw Jiang Feng coughing up blood. What kind of attack is that? Isn't it too strange? Everyone was puzzled. Could it be a soul attack? Someone was puzzled. That's right, it was indeed a soul attack. I didn't expect that brat's soul force to be so powerful. An expert recognized. The Dragonstar Strong Country was truly extraordinary. In just an instant, there were martial artists who recognized the soul attack. You're dead for injuring a disciple of the Jiang clan. That's right. No one can save you if you offend the Jiang family. The 2 disciples of the Jiang family shouted crazily. Lin Xian's expression was grave and stern. His gaze was like 2 sharp swords that pierced into their hearts. Their bodies stiffened and trembled uncontrollably. They sat on the ground like dead dogs, cold sweat flowing down their bodies like rivers. Jiang Feng glared hatefully at Lin Xian. Although he wanted to attack, he didn't have an ounce of strength. Although he only paused for a moment in the outside world, in the spiritual world, he suffered a long period of cruel torture. With a sneer, Lin Xian turned and was about to leave. Dongfang Xiong and Situ quickly followed behind him. Wait a moment. You two little brothers, wait a moment. At this moment, the short old man who had been silent all this time suddenly called out, Old man, we've already given you the spirit stones. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and said, Why are you looking for us? Hee, it's not about money. The old man stroked his goatee and smiled evilly. This strength-testing stone was obtained from a sect with much difficulty. At that time, this old man promised them that I would definitely send them a few youths who could reach 6-star. Hee, you two are just right. Everyone rolled their eyes. No matter how they looked at it, they felt that this little old man was a swindler. That won't do. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and said, I'm going to join the Dragon Elephant sect? What? Dragon Elephant sect? Everyone was shocked. Their mouths were wide open as if they could swallow an egg. The white-clothed youth's expression was serious. Then, he used a serious gaze to size up Dongfang Xiong. The 3 Jiang family disciples sitting on the ground trembled. It was as if the 3 words Dragon Elephant sect had endless magic. The old man with the goatee's eyes flashed. Then, he looked at Dongfang Xiong with interest. It was no wonder that these people were surprised. The Dragon Elephant sect was one of the 6 major powers of the Dragon Elephant Strong Country. It was a peak power above everyone else. Lin Xian was also stunned. He didn't expect that the seemingly simple and honest youth beside him was aiming for a peak sect. The old man with the goatee squinted his eyes. Young man, don't worry. My sect is definitely not inferior to the Dragon Elephant sect. Everyone was stunned. Not inferior to the Dragon Elephant sect? In the Dragon Elephant Strong Country, the only sect on the same level as the Dragon Elephant sect was the Great Flag sect. However, the Great Flag sect didn't focus on powerful physical techniques. This old man is obviously an old swindler. Everyone shook their heads. Really? I can think about it. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and said, How about this? After you go with me, I guarantee that you will enter the inner sect within 3 months. The old man with the goatee smiled. How about it? This is a green path specially opened for you. Okay, I promise you. Dongfang Xiong nodded his head. Everyone was stunned. This is also possible? AI, such a good martial arts genius, was actually cheated away by an old swindler. Lin Xian was not too worried. Although Dongfang Xiong looked simple and honest, he had never suffered a loss before. He was definitely a wise youth. The old man with the goatee was overjoyed. He once again turned his head to look at Lin Xian. Young man, what about you? Lin Xian rubbed his nose. Many thanks for old man's good intentions. However, I cannot join your sect. Oh, why is that? The old man with the goatee asked. This time, I came to the Dragon Star Strong Country to find a person. Furthermore, my martial arts are not in the aspect of body refinement. Not in body refinement? Everyone was stunned. You already hit out 6 stars, and you still say that you don't specialize in body refinement. This brat wouldn't die trying to act cool, right? There is a possibility. Perhaps it is to attract the old man's attention. The short old man had a face of astonishment. However, when he recalled that Lin Xian had used his soul eye technique, he understood. Forget it. This brat might be a soul cultivator. He shook his head. Furthermore, his body refinement technique seems to be very special. All right, since it is like this, I will not force you. Finishing, the short old man looked at Dongfang Xiong. You can leave with me. Hee, little brother Lin. Let's meet again if fate allows. Dongfang Xiong waved towards Lin Xian and Situ Jing before leaving with the short old man. Big brother Dongfang, what about your reward? Situ Jing asked loudly. I don't want it anymore. Dongfang Xiong laughed. Let's go. Lin Xian pulled Situ Jing and prepared to leave. Looking at Lin Xian's back, Jiang Feng and the other 2 revealed a sinister gaze. Chapter 370. Brother Feng, what should we do? Are we just going to watch that brat leave? The 2 Jiang family disciples said angrily. We're injured now, so we shouldn't act rashly. Let that brat be proud for a while. When we recover, It'll be his time to die. Let's go. You two help me up. Jiang Feng gritted his teeth and said. The two Jiang family disciples supported Jiang Feng and walked towards the Jiang residence shakily. Lin Xian and Situ Jing left the strength-testing stone stall and returned to the Jiang residence. At this moment, Situ Tao had already handed over the goods and received a generous reward. When he saw Lin Xian return, a smile appeared on his sallow face. Brother Lin, you're finally back. This is your reward. Situ Tao said happily. Where's Brother Dongfang? He's not here? Brother Dongfang left. He even said he didn't want the reward. Situ Jing said. After that, Lin Xian briefly explained the situation to Situ Tao, and Situ Tao quickly understood. Forget it. It seems like Brother Dongfang has a great opportunity. We can only wish him well. Situ Tao said. Brother Lin, what do you plan to do next? Me. Lin Xian pondered for a moment, then said in a deep voice, I want to meet the Jiang family's elder. Jiang family's elder? Situ Tao was stunned for a moment. Brother Lin, are you in trouble? To be honest, I'm here to find someone. This person might have a lot to do with the Jiang family. Lin Xian explained. All right, I've been handing over goods with Elder Jiang Song all year round, so I'm quite familiar with him. How about this? I'll bring you to see him tomorrow. Uncle Situ, why don't you bring me there now? All right, follow me. Situ Tao saw that Lin Xian was a little anxious, so he didn't dare to delay. The two of them walked towards Elder Jiang Song's residence. On the other hand, when Jiang Feng and the other two returned to the Jiang residence with injuries, they immediately alarmed the entire Jiang residence. The disciple in charge of guarding the door was even more shocked as he rushed forward. Brother Jiang Feng, what happened? Who beat you up like this? Rebellion. This is rebellion. How dare someone hit a disciple of the Jiang family? Brother Feng, where is he? I'll go kill him. Jiang Feng waved his hand weakly. That kid ran away a long time ago. Help me back to recuperate. Everyone did not dare to be negligent and hurriedly helped Jiang Feng's group of three inside. In one of the Jiang Manor's courtyards, Elder Jiang Song looked at Lin Xian with a slight frown. Situ Tao, why did you bring a child here? Elder Jiang, I have some questions to ask, Lin Xian said slowly. Oh, you're asking me? What's the matter? A trace of surprise appeared on Elder Jiang Song's face. He had never met Lin Xian, let alone had any interactions with Lin Xian, so he was very curious about what Lin Xian wanted to ask. Elder, may I ask if there is a person called Jiang Sanfeng in the Jiang estate? Lin Xian asked with a glimmer of hope. Jiang Sanfeng. Elder Jiang Song's expression was strange. Why are you asking this? Seeing the vigilance in Elder Jiang Song's eyes, Lin Xian smiled. Elder, please don't worry. I'm only here to look for this person under the orders of my elders. Seeing that Lin Xian did not seem to be lying, Elder Jiang Song nodded slightly. There is indeed a person called Jiang Sanfeng in the Jiang estate, but I wonder which one you are looking for? Which one? Lin Xian was stunned. There were actually many people called Jiang Sanfeng. He did not expect this situation. After thinking for a moment, he said in a deep voice, the person I'm looking for is at least middle-aged. According to Old Man DK, this person was saved by him a few decades ago. Now, this person was at least 50 years old, which was why Lin Xian said this. Middle-aged? Jiang Song raised his teacup. There is indeed an elder called Jiang Sanfeng in the Jiang estate. Elder, can you introduce me to him? Lin Xian felt a glimmer of hope in his heart. Elder Jiang Sanfeng is the elder of the Martial Skills Pavilion in the estate. He has a high position and is not someone you can meet. Elder Jiang Song refused flatly. Moreover, Elder Jiang Sanfeng has not left the Martial Skills Pavilion for many years. He can't be the person you are looking for. Lin Xian's face darkened. The elder of the Martial Skills Pavilion had a high position. It seemed that this person was very likely to be the person he was looking for. However, an elder with such a high position would not meet an unknown young man like him. Take this time as an example. If it was not for Situ Tao's recommendation, he would not have met Elder Jiang Song. All right, you can leave now. The Jiang clan is approaching and the estate is very busy. Don't come again. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Elder Jiang Song said in a deep voice. Brother Lin, let's go. Don't disturb Elder Jiang Song, Situ Tao said softly. All right, Lin Xin sighed. He had no other choice but to leave temporarily. However, when he turned around, he heard Elder Jiang Song's whisper. Sigh, there's not much time left. Iha still hasn't broken through. Breakthrough? Lin Xin's eyes turned. He remembered Elder Jiang Song talking about the clan meeting. If he guessed correctly, the clan meeting of such a large clan would definitely have a competition between the younger generation. The Jiang clan in Qingshan City was probably just a small branch. Elder Jiang Song must be worried about the cultivation of the younger generation. Seems like there's a way. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. He stopped in his tracks and suddenly turned around to look at Elder Jiang Song with a smile. Hey, why aren't you leaving? Elder Jiang Song's face darkened as he asked sternly. I heard that elders seem to be worried about the cultivation of the Jiang clan disciples. Is that true? Lin Xian asked. How dare you eavesdrop? Elder Jiang Song's eyes flashed coldly. His anger scared Situ Tao so much that he almost fell. Elder, please calm down. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I just wanted to share some of Elder's worries. Worries? Do you have a way? If you want to increase your cultivation in a short period of time, I might have a way. Lin Xian's face was calm and confident. You? Elder Jiang Song revealed a suspicious look. Young man, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't boast. The Jiang clan isn't a place where you can behave atrociously. Elder Jiang Song's tone carried a trace of coldness. If Lin Xian wasn't brought here by Situ Tao, he would have already kicked Lin Xian out. It was no wonder that Elder Jiang Song didn't believe him. Lin Xian was indeed too young. No matter how he looked at him, he looked like someone from a small country. How could this kind of person have a way? Seeing Elder Jiang Song's suspicion, Lin Xian smiled. He didn't expect Elder Jiang Song to believe him so easily. However, he had plenty of ways. 3 lines Void Spirit Pill. It can allow a harmonious spirit realm martial artist to increase a small realm. I wonder if Elder Jiang Song has heard of it? What? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Elder Jiang Song's arm trembled. The teacup in his hand suddenly shook and the spirit tea inside spilled out. Chapter 371. You know of the 3-pattern Void Spirit Pill? Elder Jiang Song asked with a trembling voice. He looked like a completely different person from before. He no longer had the cold and stern look from before. Of course. Lin Xian gave a mysterious smile. All right, Situ Tao, you may leave first. I have something to discuss with young hero Lin, Elder Jiang Song said in a deep voice after calming himself down. After sending Situ Tao away, Elder Jiang Song looked at Lin Xian. All right, there's no one here. Tell me honestly, how do you know of the 3-pattern Void Spirit Pill? Jiang Song asked. Not only have I heard of the 3-pattern Void Spirit Pill, but I also know how to refine it, Lin Xian said with a smile. You know how to refine it? Elder Jiang Song was even more surprised. His eyes flickered as he stared at Lin Xian and sighed. Young man, don't speak too loudly. Otherwise, it won't be easy to clean up the mess. How would I dare lie in front of an elder? Lin Xian said seriously. Humph, it looks like if I don't teach you a lesson, you will really think that the Jiang family is easy to deceive. Elder Jiang Song's expression suddenly sank as he said in a deep voice. I saw this 3-pattern Void Spirit Pill in an ancient book. Not only is it difficult to refine, but the pill formula is also said to have been lost. How can a young man like you refine such a precious pill? Naturally, it was taught to me by my master. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. He once again used his mysterious and powerful master to intimidate the other party. Master? Elder Jiang Song still didn't believe him. Xiao Xuanzi, do as I say. I guarantee that this old man will be convinced, Lord Alcohol said with a voice transmission. Lin Xian nodded slightly before looking at Elder Jiang Song and slowly saying, Elder, is there an intense evil fire in your body? Furthermore, your spirit energy is often misaligned, preventing you from calming down. How do you know? Elder Jiang Song was astonished. I can tell from Elder's face that these kids are overworking themselves. They're just too anxious. Furthermore, Elder's pursuit of martial arts is a little impatient. As a result, there's an evil fire in his body, preventing his spirit energy from circulating smoothly. Elder Jiang Feng was shocked. What Lin Xian said was basically the same as the truth. Now, he was 70 to 80% sure that Lin Xian wouldn't have known about this if he didn't have a powerful ability. Seeing the change in Elder Jiang Song, Lin Xian smiled again. Actually, this symptom is very easy to treat. As long as Elder can relax and take the revitalization pill that I have refined, I guarantee that you will recover completely within 3 days. Really? Elder Jiang Song's face was filled with joy. The recent matters needed him too much. He couldn't let anything happen to his body at this time. I wouldn't dare to deceive an elder, Lin Xian said. Then, what about the matter of the 3-mark spirit void pill? Elder Jiang Song asked again. Of course it's true. I can concoct a 3-mark void spirit pill for the Jiang residents. However, Elder, please refer me to Senior Jiang Sanfeng. All right, as long as you can refine the 3-mark spirit void pill, I will definitely recommend you. Elder Jiang Song patted his chest and promised. This pill was too important to the Jiang residents. It might be able to turn the situation around in the family meeting. Refining the 3-mark fish spirit void pill requires some precious spiritual herbs. I wonder how long until the Jiang family meeting? There's still a month. Is there enough time? Elder Jiang Song was nervous. Almost. As long as the medicinal herbs are gathered, I will only need 2 or 3 days to refine it. Next, Lin Xian took out a pen and paper and began to list the required medicinal herbs. Soon, he handed the paper over. These are the medicinal herbs that the spiritual apothecary needs to refine the 3-mark spirit void pill. Senior, please hurry up. The following medicinal herbs are to help you get rid of the evil fire in your body. The required medicinal herbs are still here, Lin Xian said. Elder Jiang Song skimmed through it and found that the 3-mark spirit void pill was indeed some precious medicinal herbs. He had been in charge of the family business for many years and had some understanding of medicinal herbs. Therefore, he could roughly see that Lin Xian's medicinal herbs were not written casually but contained a certain pharmacology. Young hero Lin, don't worry. I will arrange for people to gather them quickly. Please stay in the Jiang residence for a few days. Good. I will wait for the medicinal herbs to arrive. After that, Lin Xian left. When he returned to his residence, the father and son, Situ Tao and Situ Jing, had already left. They were here to deliver the goods, so naturally, they could stay in the Jiang residence for a long time. After resting for a short while, a servant came over and led Lin Xian to a quiet and secluded courtyard. In the following days, Lin Xian stayed in the Jiang residence with peace of mind. During this time, he concentrated on studying martial arts and waited patiently. Half a month later, a servant dressed in a green robe and a small hat came to pass a message, inviting Lin Xian to meet Elder Jiang Song. It's ready so quickly. It seems like the Jiang residence has some tricks up their sleeves, Lin Xian exclaimed in his heart. Then, a trace of joy appeared on his face. He had filled in the number of spiritual herbs for 3 batches. Firstly, it was to ensure the success rate. Secondly, he needed one for himself to break through to the harmonious spirit realm. With this 3 lines void spirit pill, he could shorten the time needed to break through by a few months. This way, he could have more time to comprehend the martial arts concept. After tidying up his clothes, Lin Xian followed the servant with a smile. The huge Jiang residence was like a maze. Lin Xian walked along the long corridor, constantly looking around. Pavilions, terraces, mountains, and waterfalls were all arranged in picturesque disorder. It was pleasing to the eye. It's you. Suddenly, a surprised voice came, followed by a furious shout. His voice was laced with deep hatred. Lin Xian turned his head and saw 2 well-dressed disciples standing not far from him. Their faces were ferocious. These 2 people were the 2 young men who had followed Jiang Feng back then. Brat, you dare to come to the Jiang residence and behave atrociously. You must be tired of waiting. Humph, this time, even the gods won't be able to save you. The 2 laughed sinisterly. Go and inform Brother Feng. This time, we must kill him. Beside them, the servant in green clothes and a small hat wanted to explain, but the young man left in a hurry. The remaining one stared at Lin Xian with a sneer. To be honest, killing you in the Jiang residence is as easy as killing an ant. Lin Xian smiled and didn't say anything. His identity was different now, so he wasn't afraid of these disciples. However, the servant in green clothes beside him was nervous. He anxiously said, "Young Hero Lin is bullshit. Young Hero Lin. Shut up, you have no right to speak here." The young man emitted a terrifying aura. The servant in green clothes didn't dare to speak. The one who spoke was called Jiang Dong. He had killed a few servants in the past. "Where is that little bastard?" A loud shout came. Then, a purple figure landed on the ground like lightning. It was Jiang Feng. Other than him, there were 4 or 5 disciples of the Jiang family following behind him. Suddenly, the entire corridor was completely surrounded. This grand scene immediately attracted the attention of the people nearby. There were servants, maids, and other disciples of the Jiang family. "Little bastard, it's really you." Jiang Feng looked at Lin Xian with flames of hatred in his eyes. Chapter 372. "Who are you calling, little bastard?" Lin Xian said with a smile. "The little bastard is calling you," Jiang Feng said through gritted teeth. As soon as he said that, the nearby disciples who were watching the show burst into laughter. The servants were also trying their best to hold back their laughter. Jiang Feng instantly understood the meaning of this sentence. His face darkened and became ferocious. "Kid, you still dare to play tricks when you're at death's door. I'll cut off your tongue and chop it into 18 pieces. I'm warning you, I'm now an honored guest of the Jiang mansion. You'd better not provoke me, or you won't be able to bear the consequences," Lin Xian said slowly. "Honored guest?" Jiang Feng sneered. "How can a country bumpkin like you be an honored guest? You're even worse than a servant in the mansion." "That's right. I think you must have lied to the Jiang family. Today, I'll execute you on the spot to prevent you from lying to others in the future." The nearby Jiang family disciples also sneered. In their opinion, how could a country bumpkin like Lin Xian have any connection with the Jiang family? Seeing the expressions of the Jiang family disciples, the servant in green was about to cry. Before they came here, Elder Jiang Song had repeatedly instructed them to serve Lin Xian well. From his words, it could be seen that Lin Xian was definitely an honored guest, or at least an honored guest of Elder Jiang Song. If something were to happen to Lin Xian, he would definitely be the one to suffer. The servant in green rolled his eyes. He could sneak away when no one was paying attention. Everyone present had their eyes on Lin Xian, and no one paid attention to the servant. "Kid, I'll break your limbs first, cripple your martial arts, and let you live like a dog." Jiang Feng condensed a terrifying aura and walked forward step by step. The surrounding disciples also drew their shiny weapons and rushed toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian's soul was powerful. He had already sensed a powerful aura coming, so he was not afraid at all. Sure enough, just as Jiang Feng and the others drew their weapons, an angry roar was heard. "Stop!" This voice was like a clap of thunder that exploded above the long corridor, causing the surrounding disciples' eardrums to tremble and their bodies to tremble. Apart from Lin Xian, everyone else channeled their spiritual energy to resist the impact of the sound waves. When they successfully resisted the sound waves and looked ahead, their expressions changed drastically. In the long corridor, an old figure had appeared out of nowhere, exuding a frightening aura. Elder Jiang Song. Everyone was surprised. They couldn't figure out why Elder Jiang Song would come here. "Elder, you've come at the right time. This brat has deceived the Jiang family time and time again, and even injured the foundation of the Jiang family. Today, we must tear him into pieces. Yes, we must kill him." All of them were brought here by Jiang Feng. At this moment, they were all glaring at Lin Xian. "A bunch of trash. You don't practice martial arts properly and only know how to bully others. Now, hurry up and scram." Elder Jiang Song shouted coldly. "What?" Everyone was stunned, seemingly not expecting Elder Jiang Song to berate them. They were the disciples of the Jiang family. Lin Xian was the outsider who had offended them. "Why, Elder, were you deceived by this brat's words?" "He's a liar. Don't believe his words." Jiang Feng and the rest shouted frantically. "What else do you want to say?" Do I need you to teach me my business? Elder Jiang Song's face darkened as he looked coldly at Jiang Feng and the rest. These disciples were too abominable. It was fine if they were outside, but now they dared to touch his guest. If they hurt Lin Xian, he was afraid that his 3-mark spirit void elixir would be ruined. A powerful aura pervaded the air like a huge mountain, making it difficult for everyone to breathe. If it weren't for the fact that the family meeting is about to begin, I wouldn't have let you off so easily. Now, hurry up and scram. The group was afraid, and all of them left with their tails between their legs. Jiang Feng's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with unwillingness. He glared fiercely at Lin Xian, but in the end, he could only clench his teeth and retreat. He knew that if he angered the elder at this juncture, the consequences would be severe. I don't know what he said to make the elder believe him so much. Jiang Feng clenched his fists, his heart going crazy. Seeing that everyone had left, Elder Jiang Song smiled and said, "Young hero Lin, please don't take offense. These disciples have been spoiled." "It's fine." Lin Xian smiled. He naturally wouldn't lower himself to the same level as these people. If he really wanted to fight, he was confident that he could get rid of these people within 3 moves. "Are the herbs ready?" Lin Xian asked. "Yes." "Young hero Lin, please follow me." Under Elder Jiang Tao's lead, Lin Xian came to a magnificent hall. Looking at the table full of herbs, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and smiled with satisfaction. "Young hero Lin, take a look and see if these herbs are enough?" Elder Jiang Tao asked. Looking around, Lin Xian immediately had an answer. As expected of the Jiang manor, to be able to gather so many precious herbs in such a short time. Hee. Hearing Lin Xian's answer, Elder Jiang Tao laughed. "Then when can young hero Lin start?" "Recently, I feel that the circulation of my spiritual energy is becoming more and more difficult. I can start now," Lin Xian said. "Elder, don't worry. I will help you refine the clear pill first." In fact, Lin Xian had planned to refine the clear pill from the beginning. After all, the herbs needed for the 3-mark spirit void pill were extremely precious. Before he showed his strength, Elder Jiang Tao probably wouldn't let him refine it easily. This could be seen from the order of the herbs on the table. The herbs for the clear pill were placed at the front, and the herbs for the 3-mark spirit void pill were placed in the corner. Hearing Lin Xian's answer, Elder Jiang Tao nodded with satisfaction. Good. Young hero Lin, please wait a moment. I will prepare a good alchemy room for you." While Elder Jiang Tao was preparing these things, Jiang Feng and the others found another handsome youth. "Cousin, you have to uphold justice for me," Jiang Feng cried. The young man was sitting cross-legged on the bed. When he heard Jiang Feng's cries, he opened his eyes. His sharp gaze pierced through the void like a sword and a saber. "What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry?" The young man's tone was cold. Thus, Jiang Feng told him everything about Lin Xian. In the process, he had even exaggerated and painted Lin Feng as a heinous villain. "Cousin, I don't know what method Lin Xian used to bewitch Elder Jiang Tao. I'm afraid that he will do something harmful to the Jiang clan. You have to stop him." Jiang Feng's cousin, the cold young man, was called Jiang Jian. His status was much higher than Jiang Feng's. Moreover, his grandfather was an elder of the Jiang clan. "Don't worry. No one can behave atrociously in Jiangsu, and no one can bewitch the Jiang clan's elder," Jiang Jian said coldly. In the main hall of the Jiang clan, Lin Xian was sitting on a red chair. He was drinking high-quality spiritual tea as he waited quietly. Suddenly, a few silhouettes appeared at the entrance of the main hall. They walked with an imposing manner. It was obvious that they were here to cause trouble. Chapter 373. I heard that Elder Jiang Tao has invited an alchemist. I'd like to meet him. A loud voice came from outside. Hearing this, Lin Xian frowned slightly and turned to look. There were 3 middle-aged men standing at the door. The one in front had a fat head and big ears. The other 2 were middle-aged men in alchemy robes with dark eyes. "Alchemist?" Lin Xian narrowed his eyes when he felt their soul fluctuations. The fat middle-aged man swaggered in. After calling out to Jiang Song, he stared at Lin Xian. "You're the alchemist that Jiang Song invited?" The fat middle-aged man asked suspiciously. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he nodded. He looks rather young. Has old man Jiang Song been blinded by lard? Why did he find such a kid? Do I need you to teach me who I find? Elder Jiang Tao's voice came with a hint of anger. Elder Jiang Song, I don't want to criticize you, but this kid is too young. He doesn't look reliable. The fat, middle-aged man's body shook. Yes, Elder Jiang Song. An alchemist not only needs a strong soul power, but experience is more important. This kid looks like he's only 17 or 18 years old. How many years can he have practiced alchemy? The person who spoke was a middle-aged man with a long face. His name was Gao Qing, and he was also an alchemist. Not only that, but he was also a guest elder of the Jiang residence. He usually refined some alchemy for the Jiang residence. The middle-aged fatty swept his gaze across the table. When he saw the herbs on the table, his eyes were like eggs. They instantly widened to the size of a ball. 6th grade spiritual herbs. Several of them. Elder Jiang Song, are you crazy? The fat middle-aged man screamed. The 2 middle-aged men behind him were also surprised. 6 bottles of spiritual herbs were expensive and rare. What's more, they even found 3 7th-ranked spiritual medicines. Grade 7 spirit herbs were extremely rare and precious medicinal herbs. Even the 2 of them had never personally refined one before. Elder Jiang Song, I advise you to reconsider. If you waste 3 7th-grade spiritual herbs, it will be a great loss to the Jiang residents. That's right, Elder Jiang Song. What kind of pill do you want to refine? You can leave it to us. Another famous alchemist, Sun Di, said. You guys? Lin Xian smiled. Do you guys know how to concoct pills that can increase a harmonious spirit realm warrior's level? In fact, he had been suppressing his anger for a long time. These 3 people had mocked and ridiculed him as soon as they arrived, completely disregarding him. He was obviously here to pick a fight. Therefore, Lin Xian did not hold back in his words. A pill that can increase the level of a harmonious spirit realm cultivator? The 3 of them gasped. The middle-aged fatty looked surprised, but the 2 alchemists behind him were shocked. Both of them were 3rd-grade alchemists, so they naturally knew how precious a pill that could help a harmonious spirit realm cultivator was. This kind of pill recipe was not something that an ordinary Tier 3 alchemist like them could master. However, to say that Lin Xian could master this kind of pill formula, even if they were beaten to death, they wouldn't believe it. Brat, we don't even know how to concoct this kind of medicinal pill, and you dare to boast like this? That's right. We've been concocting pills for dozens of years, but we still haven't mastered this kind of pill formula. How could a brat like you master this kind of thing? Elder Jiang Song, don't be fooled by him. I think this brat is here to cheat us of our elixirs. The middle-aged fatty snorted. Truly a group of frogs at the bottom of a well. Lin Xian smiled coldly. What did you say? The 2 alchemists were furious. The middle-aged fatty's face was also gloomy, and his eyes were cold. Brat, do you know who you're talking to? The middle-aged fatty said eerily. That's right. The 2 of us have concocted more pills than the amount of salt you've eaten. What qualifications do you have to talk to us here? After concocting pills for dozens of years, you're only a 3rd-grade alchemist. If I were you, I would have killed myself already. Lin Xian disdainfully said, looking at your soul waves, you're only at the level of an ordinary 3rd-grade alchemist. Is this the result of your decades of cultivation? You're as stupid as a pig. What did you say? The 2 alchemists were enraged. They were of noble status. Usually, anyone who saw them would respectfully call them grandmasters. However, Lin Xian actually dared to look down on them at this moment. A strong, killing intent arose in their hearts. Elder Jiang Song, if you insist on doing things your own way, I'll report this matter to the clan head, the middle-aged fatty said coldly. Jiang Kue, don't go too far. Elder Jiang Song snorted coldly. What do you want? I can make this brat concoct pills, the middle-aged fatty said with a smile. However, he has to compete with the 2 elders behind me first. If he can win, let him concoct pills. If he can't, then he'll be deceiving the Jiang clan. Not only will he be crippled of his martial arts, but he'll also have his limbs chopped off. This method was too vicious. It was even crueler than killing someone. Lin Xian had no enmity with them, but they actually used such a vicious method. Elder Jiang Song was furious. It was obvious that they were targeting Lin Xian. Just as he was about to say something, Lin Xian unexpectedly stood up. "All right, I agree," Lin Xian said in a deep voice. He had just become the champion of the Heavenly Mountain Empire's Alchemy King tournament. Furthermore, his strength was definitely at the top of the third-grade alchemists. Although the two alchemists opposite him had concocted pills for decades, they were not worth mentioning to him. Not only was Lin Xian abnormally talented, but he also had the guidance of a peerless expert like Lord Alcohol. His one day of cultivation and comprehension was comparable to several years of an ordinary person's. Therefore, he was not afraid of this competition at all. Seeing Lin Xian agree so readily, Elder Jiang Song's pupils constricted. He agreed so easily. He's indeed an idiot. I only need to use 30% of my strength to defeat him. The two alchemists sneered. They were very confident. They had experienced hundreds of battles and did not think much of a brat like Lin Xian. "What are we competing in?" Lin Xian asked. "I heard that Elder Jiang Song has been suffering from anxiety recently, and the evil fire in his body is very strong. Why don't we compete in concocting pills that dispel the evil fire?" Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It seemed that the other party had come prepared. As soon as he said that, the two alchemists laughed. "Kid, don't tell me you don't dare?" Elder Jiang Song looked at Lin Xian worriedly. However, when he saw Lin Xian's expression, his nervous heart calmed down. Lin Xian sat back down on the red chair and slowly sipped his spirit tea. He looked calm and composed. Clearly, he did not think much of this competition. If he did not have great confidence in his own strength, it was impossible for him to have such a performance. "Humph, stop pretending. Let's see if you still have the face to sit here after I concoct the pills." The two alchemists laughed sinisterly. "This place is too small. Let's go to the alchemy platform," the middle-aged fatty said. "Alchemy platform?" Lin Xian had a puzzled look. The alchemy platform is an open-air alchemy venue. Some alchemy masters and the residents often concoct pills in public there. Sometimes, they will even give lectures, Elder Jiang Song explained. "So that's how it is. Concocting pills in public? It seems this fellow wants me to make a fool of myself." However, it's not certain who will make a fool of himself. Lin Xian sneered. Since the other party had already given him face, how could he not return the favor? Chapter 374. Standing up, Lin Xian calmly followed the three of them to the alchemy platform. There was a square platform in an open space in the north of the Jiang residence. It was about 1 meter tall and 10 meters long and wide. It was wide enough for more than a dozen people to refine pills. Many Jiang family disciples had already gathered in front of the alchemy platform. Zhang Feng and the others stood in the front row and sneered. Beside them stood a cold-looking young man. His gaze was as sharp as a sword. Elder Jiang Song's gaze was gloomy, and there was a hint of anger in his eyes. This was clearly designed to deal with Lin Xian. First, it was a provocation. Then, it was a public alchemy platform. Even the audience was here. Needless to say, the goal was to embarrass Lin Xian in front of everyone and cripple his cultivation. Now, I can only hope that Lin Xian can win. Elder Jiang Song sighed. He was worried for Lin Xian, but he was also worried for himself. If Lin Xian failed, he would probably be attacked as an elder by the middle-aged fatty's side. His opponents might even pull him down from his position as an elder. Young hero Lin, I'm afraid this matter is not as simple as refining pills. It might involve the power struggle of the Jiang residents. But don't worry. You just need to focus on refining pills. Leave everything else to me. Elder Jiang Song transmitted his voice. Lin Xian nodded. He understood. The middle-aged fatty and Elder Jiang Song were not from the same faction, and Elder Jiang Song's position was too lucrative, causing many people to be jealous. There would definitely be many people who wanted to pull him down. In this competition, crippling Lin Xian was a small matter. Getting rid of Elder Jiang Song was the most important thing. Everyone, an unknown young man appeared in the Jiang residence recently. He claimed to be an alchemist. Elder Jiang Song bought a large amount of precious spirit herbs for him to refine pills. Obviously, Elder Jiang Song was deceived. Or rather, he has some secrets. In order to expose this young man who deceived the Jiang residents, we specially held an alchemy competition here. If this young man can win, it means that Elder Jiang Song has a good eye for talent. If he can't, it means that he is after the Jiang family's resources. You should know what to do with the enemies of the Jiang family, right? The middle-aged fatty said coldly. The surrounding Jiang family's disciples were in an uproar. They didn't expect that someone would be so bold as to target the Jiang family. If he's a fake, I'll let him know the consequences of deceiving the Jiang family, many disciples said with killing intent. Many people looked at Lin Xian with unfriendly gazes as they discussed among themselves. Clearly, the middle-aged fatty's words had worked. The two alchemists sneered. This scene was exactly what they wanted. Moreover, the two of them did not attach any importance to him at all. In their eyes, what kind of ability could a little brat have? Lin Xian deeply despised such petty tricks, but since they wanted to play, he would accompany them to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Lin Xian, an alchemist. This time, Elder Jiang Song invited me here because he wants me to refine a harmonious spirit dance. The reason is that the Great Clan Assembly is approaching. Elder Jiang Song wants the younger generation to perform better in the assembly, so he asked me to refine a dance. However, some people want to stop this for their own selfish desires. Nonsense. The middle-aged fatty shouted coldly. Whether it's nonsense or not, we'll know after the competition. Lin Xian shrugged. Beside him, Elder Jiang Song looked at Lin Xian with gratitude. In his heart, his impression of Lin Xian improved greatly. You can talk about this nonsense after you've refined a top-notch medicinal pill. The two alchemists sneered and quickly came to the center of the stage. Their alchemy robes fluttered and their bodies glowed. With a wave of their sleeves, two exquisite cauldrons appeared in front of them. The two exquisite cauldrons floated in the air, emitting a faint light. The two alchemists waved their sleeves, and dozens of spiritual herbs flew out and entered the cauldrons. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes as he watched the two's proficient and experienced movements. To be honest, the two alchemists were above average among the third-grade alchemists. Otherwise, they wouldn't have become the Jiang Manor's guest elders. However, compared to Lin Xian, this bit of strength was far from enough. The surrounding Jiang family disciples cheered when they saw the two alchemists begin to refine a dance. Why isn't that little one refining a dance? Is he scared silly? Is there a need to ask? Look at how young he is. He definitely doesn't know how to refine a dance. I guess he doesn't even have a cauldron. The disciple beside Jiang Feng sneered. Under everyone's suspicious gaze, Lin Xian slowly raised his arm. With a wave of his sleeve, he took out the herbs that Elder Jiang Song had prepared for him. With a flick of his finger, he drew mysterious inscriptions in the void. No way, there's really a cauldron? F***CK. How can he refine a dance without a cauldron? This kid must be messing with us. The disciple beside Jiang Feng shouted angrily. This is the troublesome kid you were talking about? Jiang Jin looked at Lin Xian and sneered disdainfully. Yes, cousin. I've told you that the kid is a liar, but Elder Jiang Song didn't believe me. When he fails to refine the pill, just cripple his cultivation and throw him out, Jiang Jin said as if it was a very normal thing. However, in the Lingwu continent, destroying a martial artist's cultivation was worse than death. Don't worry, cousin. I know what to do. Jiang Feng sneered. The two third-grade alchemists laughed hysterically when they saw Lin Xian refining a dance with his bare hands. They had lived for so long, but they had never seen anyone who dared to refine a dance with his bare hands. This kid is trying to be mysterious again. He's dead meat this time. The two of them sneered in their hearts. Elder Jiang Song's eyes were filled with worry. He had never heard of refining a dance with his bare hands, but Lin Xian did not seem to be faking it when he saw how calm he was. Forget it. We can only wait patiently. He chose to believe in Lin Xian. Lin Xian calmed himself down and ignored the discussion outside. His fingers danced like elves as he quickly extracted the herbs. His speed and agility were comparable to the two third-grade alchemists beside him. What? He's really refining a dance? No way. There's really someone who can refine a dance with his bare hands. The surrounding disciples of the general family exclaimed. This scene was too shocking. It was simply a spectacle. The two third-grade alchemists' eyelids twitched when they saw this scene. This is impossible. Where did this kid come from? How can he refine a Dan with his bare hands? Could it be that we were wrong? Could this kid have an extraordinary background? Don't panic. Even if he can refine a Dan with his bare hands, the grade of his Dan is definitely not as high as ours. The two of them whispered to each other, as long as we stay calm and refine the spirit-cleansing pill, we will definitely win. The two of them regained their composure. Below, Zhang Feng's eyes almost popped out of their sockets when he saw this scene. Zhang Jian stood with his hands behind his back and stared coldly at Lin Xian. Interesting. He could refine a Dan with his bare hands. He began to have some interest in Lin Xian, but that was it. Time flew by, and the three alchemists on the stone platform finished refining one after another. However, the result once again shocked the crowd. Chapter 375. The first one to finish was Lin Xian. What's the point of refining first? The elixir pill is a competition of quality, not speed. The two Jiang family alchemists snorted coldly. However, their expressions were gloomy. It was obvious that their hatred for Lin Xian had deepened. Elder, we have refined a superior third-grade elixir pill. The two of them whispered to the middle-aged fatty. The middle-aged fatty nodded slightly. He was satisfied with the result. A superior third-grade elixir pill. I've won this time. Thinking of this, he looked at Lin Xian proudly. A superior third-grade elixir pill. I've won this time. Not only can I kill this kid, but I can also drag Jiang Song down with me. Thinking of this, the middle-aged fatty's face was filled with pride. Not far away, Jiang Song was shocked when he saw the sinister smile on the fatty's face. Am I going to lose? He felt a little uneasy. The refining of the elixir pill is complete. Let's compete next. For the sake of fairness, I've invited the third elder of the family to appraise it. He's an alchemy master, and he's very fair. Everyone should know that, the middle-aged fatty said loudly. It's the third elder. He's a fourth-grade alchemist. The surrounding disciples exclaimed. They usually didn't see the third elder, so they didn't expect to see him here. Under the expectant gaze of the crowd, an old man with a long beard appeared on the stage. He was in a white robe, and his beard was so long that it reached his chest. His old face was imposing, and there was a faint aura of suppression around him. Lin Xian felt a strong soul power from the old man. It seemed that he wasn't any weaker than D. Quebec, as expected of the Dragon Star Kingdom. An elder from the Green Mountain City is not weaker than a top alchemy master from the Sky Mountain Kingdom, Lin Xian exclaimed. All right, take out your elixir pills, the third elder said in a deep voice. The two third-grade alchemists quickly opened their palms and displayed the elixir pills in their hands. Azure Spirit Pill. A superior third-grade elixir pill. It's used to treat the evil fire in the body and to calm the mind. Please examine it, third elder. Hearing that, the Jiang family's third elder waved his arm, and the two green elixirs flew into his hand. The third elder nodded his head lightly. That's right. It's indeed a superior grade 3 medicinal pill. It's not bad to be able to get it in one go. The middle-aged fatty and the two alchemists smiled. It was not easy to gain the approval of the third elder. One had to know that the third elder rarely praised people. Elder Jiang Song, where are your medicinal pills? The middle-aged fatty laughed sinisterly. The surrounding Jiang family disciples also revealed curious expressions. They wanted to know the grade of the elixir that Lin Xian had refined with his bare hands. From the looks of it, it's already good enough that he managed to create it. And he wants it to have a rank effect? He must be dreaming. Zhang Feng smiled coldly. Third elder, this is the pill I refined. Please take a look. Lin Xian flicked the pill in his hand. The third elder turned his hand, and when he opened it again, there was a dark green pill in his hand. He looked at it and suddenly revealed a surprised expression. It's a top-grade pill. The third elder's eyes revealed a trace of surprise, and he examined it carefully again. The surrounding Jiang family disciples also exclaimed after hearing that. The middle-aged fatty and the two alchemists frowned slightly, revealing an uncertain expression. Humph, A superior grade 2 medicinal pill. No matter how good it is, it can't compare to a grade 3 medicinal pill. It's not easy to refine a superior grade 2 medicinal pill at such a young age. However, it's still far from being comparable to us. The two alchemists nodded and commented. The third elder did not say what grade the pill was. However, according to the two alchemists' speculation, it was already extremely shocking that Lin Xian could refine a grade 2 medicinal pill. As for a grade 3 medicinal pill, it was absolutely impossible. That's right, a top-grade pill. It's indeed a superior grade 3 medicinal pill, Huanqing pill, the third elder said slowly. His voice was like a thunderclap, shocking everyone. What? A superior grade 3 medicinal pill? The middle-aged fatty almost bit his tongue off. The two grade 3 alchemists beside him also trembled, revealing a terrified expression. Impossible. It's absolutely impossible. He's just an unknown brat. How could he refine a grade 3 medicinal pill? Moreover, it's a superior grade medicinal pill. The two alchemists kept shaking their heads. On the other hand, Jiang Feng and the other disciples' faces were pale with fear. An existence who could refine a grade 3 medicinal pill was definitely not someone they could provoke. Zhang Jian frowned slightly. His eyes were shining with a dazzling light as he stared at Lin Xian. On the elixir platform, Elder Jiang Song was also shocked. He originally thought that Lin Xian had lost. He did not expect such an outcome. Third elder, are you sure you didn't see wrongly? The middle-aged fatty stuttered. Huh. The third elder's face darkened. Are you doubting me? I wouldn't dare. We wouldn't dare to doubt you. Who doesn't know that the third elder's husband is selfless? Humph. Third elder didn't bother with the middle-aged fatty and the others. He said in a clear voice, the results of the competition are very clear. This young hero Lin Xian has refined a top-notch Tier 3 pill, and its effects are far superior to a superior Tier 3 pill. Hearing this, the surrounding disciples exclaimed. They never thought that this young man who was younger than them was actually a master alchemist. The middle-aged fatty and the others' faces darkened as they stood there with uncertain gazes. They originally wanted to use this opportunity to get rid of Lin Xian and Elder Song Tao. However, they did not expect such an outcome. This was completely different from what they had planned. Jiang Feng and the other disciples' faces were ashen. They knew the consequences of offending a master alchemist. It was very serious. Jiang Jian coldly snorted. This result was out of his expectations, and it caused him to feel a trace of anger. However, in front of the third elder, he could not flare up. Although this young hero Lin has refined a superior grade 3 medicinal pill, however, it's still a bit difficult to refine a spirit harmonious realm pill. Why don't we let this young hero give the recipe to the third elder and let you refine it? Wouldn't the success rate be much higher? The middle-aged fatty lowered his head and said. Hearing this, Lin Xian frowned. His eyes emitted a sharp sword light. This damn fatty dared to have ideas about his recipe. This made him want to kill him. At the same time, he looked at the third elder and prepared to escape at any time. If the third elder really wanted to attack, he would use the blood escape technique of the Black Cloak. Coupled with the Black Cloak's other secret techniques, he was confident that he could escape from the third elder and the others. After the third elder heard this, his eyes suddenly became sharp. He coldly looked at the middle-aged fatty. The spirit chi in the sky fluctuated like boiling water. A huge pressure appeared out of thin air above the middle-aged fatty and the others. It was like a pair of invisible hands suddenly pressed down. Third elder, please calm down. The middle-aged fatty and the others were terrified and kept begging for mercy. Do you know the significance of a recipe to a master alchemist? I'll spare your life this time. If you dare to say something like this again, I'll kill you on the spot. Get lost. Don't make a fool of yourself here. The third elder waved his sleeve and sent the middle-aged man and the two master alchemists behind him flying. Then, he looked at Lin Xian. Chapter 376. Young hero Lin, please don't mind. These people are not alchemists, so they don't know the importance of the pill formula. Please don't worry, young hero Lin. This old man will definitely not have any designs on your pill formula. This old man can still keep his word. Lin Xian nodded slightly. He could sense from the other party's soul fluctuations that the other party was not a treacherous villain, but a true alchemy master. In an instant, Lin Xian's identity underwent a shocking reversal. He was originally thought of as a little cheat of resources, but now, he had become a VIP that everyone respected and respected. Young hero Lin, this way please, third elder said with a smile. Next, Lin Xian entered the already prepared superior room and began refining the 3-mark void spirit pill. 3 days later, he walked out with a satisfied smile on his face. How was it? Elder Jiang Song and the rest were already waiting outside. Now that they saw Lin Xian come out, they could not wait to welcome him. There was no choice. The 3-mark void spirit pill was too important. It was related to their results in the clan competition this time. They could not help but be nervous. Not bad. 3 sets of herbs, and I refined 2 pills, Lin Xian said slowly. Elder Jiang Song and the rest cheered, but third elder at the side revealed a look of surprise. He had heard of the difficulty of refining the 3-mark void spirit pill. Lin Xian's success rate was actually so high. This was too shocking. Seeing everyone's anxious eyes, Lin Xian took out 2 small white bottles. This is the 3-mark void spirit pill. One is normal grade with only 1 mark on it. The other one is of high quality. It has 2 pill veins. Finished speaking, Lin Xian handed it over. As for how the pills were to be distributed, it was not his business. Third elder took the pill bottle and quickly checked it. Soon, he revealed a satisfied expression. Young hero Lin has worked hard. We have already prepared a room for you. Quickly rest. As for meeting the third peak elder, don't worry. This is not a problem. You will definitely meet him. Third elder promised. With third elder's guarantee, Lin Xian was even more relieved. He knew that third elder's position in the clan far surpassed elder Jiang Tao's. Since he had spoken, he would definitely be able to see Jiang Sanfeng. After returning to the room that the Jiang residents had prepared for him, Lin Xian rested for a while. Half a day later, her body recovered to its peak condition. Lin Xian's expression turned solemn as he set up a defensive formation around them. With a flip of his palm, he took out another small white porcelain bottle. A pure white pill was poured out from the bottle. There were 3 colorful stone patterns on it. In fact, Lin Xian had only refined 2 out of the 3 sets of materials. The last set was the supreme grade 3-vein void spirit pill refined by Lord Alcohol. Lin Xian planned to use this pill to break through to the harmonious spirit realm. After adjusting his soul and body to their peak condition, Lin Xian didn't delay. He quickly swallowed the 3-mark spirit void pill. Immediately, the green vortex in her body spun rapidly, absorbing the spiritual energy around her. Just as Lin Xian was trying his best to break through, the Jiang residence outside was in an uproar. The news that Lin Xian had refined the 3-mark spirit void pill had spread throughout the Jiang residence. All the young disciples of the Jiang residence were excited. This was a legendary pill that could raise one's cultivation by a small realm. If one could obtain it, it would definitely save a few years of cultivation time. However, those ordinary disciples could only be envious. They didn't have the chance to take the pill. Only 2 or 3 people were qualified to take it. In the main hall of the Jiang residence, dozens of elders and 4 or 5 young disciples were gathered. Sitting in the middle was the patriarch of the Jiang residence. Below him sat several elders with different expressions. Among them, Elder Jiang Song and third elder were among them. There was also an elder with a hooked nose. His expression was somewhat gloomy as he sat there silently. He was Jiang Jin's grandfather, Jiang Sihai. There were 4 young disciples standing in the hall. The one on the left had a sharp gaze. It was Jiang Jin. In front of him, there was a handsome young man wearing a black robe with a smile on his face. This young man was the number 1 genius disciple of the Jiang residence, Jiang Yihe. As for the remaining 2 disciples, one was a slightly plump young man, and the other was a beautiful woman. These 4 people were all geniuses of the Jiang residence. They were also the main fighting force in the clan meeting. I'm sure you've heard about the pill. We've decided to give one to Jiang Yihe. As for the remaining one, the strongest among the 3 of you will get it, the patriarch said slowly. Hearing this, Jiang Jian frowned slightly. The sharpness in his eyes intensified. In front of him, Jiang Iha heaved a sigh of relief. His expression became relaxed. Patriarch, isn't this distribution a bit inappropriate? Jiang Sihai said in a deep voice. It was obvious that he was dissatisfied with this decision. Iha is the most talented disciple in the family. His cultivation is also the highest. Letting him break through again will be very beneficial for this clan meeting. The patriarch said slowly, "This is all for the sake of the family." Patriarch, if you're really thinking for the family, then you should let Iha participate in the competition. I don't deny Iha's talent. Moreover, his cultivation is indeed the highest. However, strength is a comprehensive reflection of a martial artist. Jiang Jian has recently made a breakthrough in the sword Dao. I'm sure his strength won't be weaker than Iha. Hearing Jiang Sihai's words, the elders were slightly surprised. They all looked at Jiang Jian in the middle of the field. Peak early harmonious spirit realm strength and solid sword chi. Not bad, not bad. The patriarch of the Jiang family nodded slightly. Jiang Jian is not bad, but there is still a gap between him and Iha. You should know that the gap between early and mid-harmonious spirit realm is not small. We'll know whether there is a gap or not after the competition. Jiang Sihai didn't back down. There was a reason for him to do this, because if he didn't fight for it, then the 2-mark void spirit pill would be Jiang Iha's. At that time, even if Jiang Jian won, he would only get a 1-mark void spirit pill. The effect of a 2-mark void spirit pill was much better than a 1-mark void spirit pill. That's why Jiang Sihai fought so hard for Jiang Jian. Since Patriarch Sihai insists, then I'll participate in the competition. Jiang Iha said, I'll use my strength to get the 2-mark void spirit pill. His words carried a strong sense of confidence. All right, then everyone will participate in the competition. The first place will get the 2-mark void spirit pill. The patriarch of the Jiang family said. He was also confident in Jiang He. Humph, the 2-mark void spirit pill will be mine. Jiang Jian said coldly. His body overflowed with a sharp sword chi. Jiang Iha smiled faintly. We'll know whether it's yours or not after the competition. Let's go. Let me see your recent progress. Jiang Iha took the lead and walked out. Suddenly, a group of people walked towards the martial stage in the mansion. When the ordinary disciples outside heard about this, they were all excited and followed behind him. This was the competition between the geniuses in the mansion. It was absolutely exciting, and they didn't want to miss it. While everyone was looking forward to the competition, in the west of the Jiang mansion, there was a strong fluctuation of spirit power in the sky. Chapter 377. A huge whirlpool appeared out of thin air, quickly absorbing the surrounding spirit energy, and a faint dragon roar could be heard. A powerful aura appeared out of nowhere, as if a ferocious dragon was roaring, circling in the air. Everyone was shocked. They felt a tremor from their soul. The Jiang family head and the others' faces changed. They quickly flew up, staring at the strange phenomenon in the sky. Jiang Jian and the other genius disciples were also shocked. However, the strange phenomenon in the sky only existed for a few breaths, then it quickly disappeared. In the sky, the huge spirit energy whirlpool also slowly dissipated. The whole sky returned to normal. What's going on? Is there a martial expert in our Jiang family? The family head asked doubtfully. It seems like someone is breaking through. Jiang Sihai frowned. The third elder and elder king Jiang Song both looked to the west, their expressions uncertain. Could it be? The two of them thought of Lin Xian. Impossible. Then the two shook their heads. Even though Lin Xian's spirit energy was strong, his cultivation was ordinary. It was impossible for him to cause such a big commotion. Let's go and see. With such a big thing happening, these elders couldn't just ignore it. The group of people quickly rushed to the west. In the room, Lin Xian slowly opened his eyes, the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. Slightly clenching his fist, the surrounding spirit energy quickly gathered with his movement. Is this the power of a harmonious spirit realm? Too strong. Lin Xian was happy. Not long ago, he swallowed the 3-mark void spirit pill and finally entered the harmonious spirit realm. If you don't enter the harmonious spirit realm, You will always be an ant. This sentence was not wrong. After entering the harmonious spirit realm, one could control the spirit energy of heaven and earth. The power of martial techniques increased by more than 10 times. Moreover, during a battle, a harmonious spirit realm martial artist could quickly absorb the spirit energy of heaven and earth, using it to replenish their energy. Finally, I've entered the harmonious spirit realm. Lin Xian exhaled a breath of relief. Only after entering the harmonious spirit realm would one be qualified to participate in the sacred True Dragon Gathering, and Lin Xian already had this qualification. Next, he only needed to find Jiang Sanfeng, then he could participate in the sacred True Dragon Gathering. Someone's here. Lin Xian sensed with his soul consciousness that several powerful forces were rapidly approaching. He was very familiar with the auras of two of them. They were Elder Jiangsong and the third elder. Lin Xian was puzzled. He quickly pushed open the door and left. As soon as he stepped out of the door, he was stunned. There were more than 10 people standing in the sky. Each of them had a powerful aura, and their gazes were constantly scanning the place where he was. All of a sudden, Lin Xian became nervous. Even though he had broken through to the harmonious spirit realm, he still felt pressured when facing so many warriors of the same level. However, these people didn't seem to be here to capture him. Third Elder, what are you doing? Lin Xian asked in confusion. Young hero Lin, were there any experts here just now? The third elder quickly asked. Expert? Lin Xian had a strange expression on his face. Kid, the phenomenon of your breakthrough alarmed them, said Lord Alcohol with a voice transmission. Hearing this, Lin Xian frowned. Just now, a huge spirit energy whirlpool appeared here, and an azure dragon phantom appeared. We're guessing that there might be an expert nearby. When I was in the house just now, I did sense an obscure and powerful aura. However, it disappeared in an instant. As for whether it's the expert you're looking for, I don't know. Lin Xian lied. He didn't want to expose his strength, and even more so, didn't want to attract too much attention. Above, dozens of gazes fell on Lin Xian as they tried to sense him. Lin Xian felt a sense of pressure. He quickly concealed his cultivation base and secretly activated the Black Cloak's function, revealing his half-step harmonious spirit cultivation base. Half-step harmonious spirit, it's not him. The elders revealed a disappointed expression. The third elder and Elder Jiang Song let out a sigh of relief. If the phenomenon just now was really caused by Lin Xian, it would be too terrifying. All right, let me introduce you. These are the elders of the Jiang Manor. This is the Jiang family's patriarch, said Elder Jiang Song. Greetings, seniors. Lin Xian slightly bowed. Patriarch everyone, this is young hero Lin, the third great alchemist who concocted the void spirit pill. Hearing this, everyone's gaze fell on Lin Xian again, but this time, it was filled with curiosity and bewilderment. The Jiang family's patriarch chuckled. Young hero Lin is really a young genius, to be able to concoct such a strange pill. This time, you've really helped the Jiang Manor a lot. This old man thanks you. You're too polite, senior. Lin Xian smiled. All right, it's fine. Perhaps it's just an expert passing by. Let's go to the battle martial stage. Battle martial stage? Lin Xian's eyes flashed. It's about the distribution of the pills. Young hero Lin, are you interested in watching the battle? The third elder smiled. He had a good impression of Lin Xian. After all, he was very willing to befriend such a genius in alchemy. It's my honor. Lin Xian smiled. This was a good opportunity to understand the strength of the geniuses of the Dragon Star Empire. Lin Xian didn't want to miss it. After all, he was going to compete for a spot in the sacred True Dragon Gathering. Along the way, Lin Xian found out that there were only 4 geniuses competing for the Void Spirit Pill. Among them, the most eye-catching ones were Jiang Jian and Jiang Yihe. Both of them were top geniuses. One of them had reached the mid-harmonious spirit realm. The other had a superb sword art and a powerful sword technique. The target that the two of them were fighting over was precisely that 2-mark Void Spirit Pill. The 4 of them would take turns to fight, and the final winner would get the 2-mark Void Spirit Pill. The rules were simple and the goal was clear, but everyone knew that it would be an exciting battle. Lin Xian followed the third elder and the others to the stage, silently sizing up the 4 geniuses. The first battle was between Jiang Jian and the chubby youth, Jiang Yuan. I said, "You better give up, or don't blame my sword for being merciless." Even when facing a fellow disciple, Jiang Jian's expression was still cold. Isn't Jiang Jian a bit too arrogant? Jiang Yuan is one of the four geniuses of the Jiang manor. How can he give up? The audience was discussing among themselves. Lin Xian circulated his soul power to sense the strength of the two geniuses. Early harmonious spirit realm, similar in cultivation. One of them has a sharp attack, the other focuses on defense. Lin Xian whispered. The chubby youth, Jiang Yuan, looked serious. If you want me to give up, then show me what you've got. He quickly condensed an earthy yellow defense in front of him, forming a thick armor. His arms shook and condensed into two mountain peaks, which then fell down. Boom! The stage shook, and a powerful airflow gushed out. The surrounding disciples felt a great pressure. At this moment, Jiang Yuan's body was covered with a stone-like armor. He held the two mountain peaks in his hands and attacked Jiang Jian. It's useless, Jiang Jian sneered. His silver sword was unsheathed, forming countless silver rays in the air. Each ray of light contained a powerful energy that was enough to destroy everything. The sword light swept across, shattering the yellow armor in front of the chubby youth. His body was also sent flying. A line of blood appeared on his abdomen, and blood kept flowing out. What kind of sword technique is this? How can it tear apart my defense? The chubby youth was frightened. Chapter 378. As one of the four geniuses of the Jiang family, his strength was not to be underestimated. A few months ago, he was on par with Jiang Jian, but now he was defeated in one strike. With a wry smile, the chubby youth walked down the stage with a disappointed look. The Jiang family's disciples who were watching the battle cried out in surprise. This result was beyond their expectations. The beautiful girl Jiang Xian looked dignified. She was also one of the four geniuses, but she did not see the trajectory of the silver sword light. What a terrifying sword technique! It seems that Jiang Jian's strength has improved tremendously. I wonder how he compares to Jiang Yi. Jiang only showed a little of his strength. He is really powerful. You have not seen it yet, Jiang Sihai said proudly. Jiang Xian versus Jiang Jian. In the next match, the beautiful girl Jiang Xian was also sent flying by one strike. Jiang Jian's strength was deeply imprinted in everyone's heart. Jiang Jian's strength was too terrifying. It was far beyond the other two. Perhaps only Jiang Yi could defeat him. They were looking forward to the battle between the two. Many disciples were looking forward to it. Jiang Yi's strength was unquestionable. His palm wind brought along a sky full of snow, and he easily defeated the pudgy youth and the beautiful girl. Jiang Yuan and Jiang Xian's faces were gloomy. They had no fate with the void spirit pill. Lin Xian watched several matches and frowned. Jiang Jian and Jiang Yi's strength was beyond his expectations. These two people were probably top existences in the heavenly mountain empire, but they were only geniuses from a small city in the Dragon Star Empire. I wonder how strong the geniuses of the 6 major powers of the Dragon Star Empire are? Lin Xian was looking forward to it. On the stage, Jiang Jian and Jiang Yi faced each other. Two powerful auras constantly collided, causing the air to fluctuate. At this moment, Jiang Jian's body was emitting a terrifying sword aura. It was like a sharp blade, causing the void to tremble. Jiang Yi's body was emitting a blue light, overflowing with cold air. It was as if he had come to a land of ice and snow. I will let you know that I am the real genius of the Jiang family. Jiang Jian's silver sword stabbed out. Fine silver light spots appeared in the sky. They were like gorgeous fireworks, quickly rushing towards Jiang Yi. Cold ice palm. Jiang Yi's figure was erratic, and each of his palms carried a powerful cold chi, forming an azure frost. In an instant, the arena was filled with ice palms. They covered the sky and the earth, and all of them collided with the silver light. Puff, puff. The silver sword chi was unstoppable as it quickly pierced through the blue palm shadow. Then, with an even more violent speed, it rushed towards Jiang Yi. However, Even though the blue palm of light was pierced through, it did not shatter. Instead, it brought with it boundless cold chi as it grabbed towards Jiang Jian. The two of them moved quickly, the surging spiritual energy stirring the surrounding spiritual energy. Every single one of these attacks could seriously injure an ordinary early soul realm cultivator. However, the two of them were completely unharmed by such an attack. Lin Xian was amazed and secretly compared the two. He realized that even if he were to face the two of them, he would not be able to obtain victory in a short period of time unless he used his trump card. Looks like I have to hurry up and comprehend the concept of wind and lightning. Lin Xian felt a sense of urgency. If he could comprehend this concept, he was confident that he could defeat the two of them within 10 moves. In the arena, more than half of the area had turned into a frozen land, blooming with blue light. If one looked carefully, they would notice that there were small sword holes in the ice. "Take my sword," silver light filling the sky. Jiang Jian shouted in a low voice. His body leaped up, and the long sword in his hand swept across. A huge silver sword chi condensed in the air. This sword was a threat to a mid-harmonious spirit realm cultivator. The Jiang family patriarch's face changed slightly. He could see the power of this sword, but he was not sure if Jiang Yihe could dodge it. Jin'er will win. Jiang Sihai's face revealed a victorious smile. The silver sword chi continued to grow bigger and faster like a meteor. It instantly arrived beside Jiang Yihe. Chi. The thick sword chi instantly cut Jiang Yihe into two halves. Everyone exclaimed. Their faces were filled with fear. Was the number one genius of the Jiang family going to die here? Something's not right. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He activated his eye technique and discovered the secret. On the arena, the two halves of the corpse suddenly emitted a blue light and quickly turned into two ice sculptures. On the ice blue wall behind Jiang Jian, Jiang Yihe's figure suddenly appeared. Freezing sky. A palm strike was launched. The sharp palm shadow instantly tore apart Jiang Jian's body protection and landed on his back. Puff. Jiang Jian's body flew forward before he could react. This sudden change caused everyone to cry out in alarm. Jiang Jian's hair was disheveled and his eyes revealed a ferocious look. He roared towards the sky and unleashed a powerful silver sword chi. Silver sea overflowing sky. The silver light in the sky intertwined into a huge silver flood dragon, occupying half of the arena. Jiang Yihe did not want to be outdone. He continuously waved his palm. The terrifying cold chi formed an ice phoenix that spread its wings. The two forces collided. The entire arena was shrouded in silver light and cold chi. On the grandstand, layers of ice quickly formed and froze the silver flood dragon. Even Jiang Jian's body became slower. The sword chi swept across the arena. The fine sword chi crazily strangled everything. However, Jiang Jian's body had accumulated a lot of cold chi due to the previous palm strike. His combat strength was greatly reduced. Moreover, Jiang Yihe's mid-harmonious spirit realm cultivation was not to be underestimated. In the end, the silver sword chi was frozen along with Jiang Jian. The crowd was stunned. After a long time, they exclaimed. The two's techniques were too amazing. All kinds of strange techniques emerged one after another. Lin Xian also nodded his head in amazement. Beside him, the Jiang family patriarch and others smiled and nodded. Jiang Sihai's expression was gloomy. His body swayed and quickly came to the arena to rescue Jiang Jian from the ice. After checking Jiang Jian's body, Jiang Sihai was relieved when he found that Jiang Jian did not suffer any serious injuries. However, his face became even more gloomy. Originally, he was confident that Jiang Jian could win the 2-mark Void Spirit Pill and become the number one genius of the Jiang family. However, he did not expect Jiang Yihe to be so powerful. It completely disrupted his plan. Alright, it's just a competition. There's no need to be so angry. The Jiang family patriarch came out to mediate. Yihe, your strength is not bad, but don't be arrogant. This great clan meeting is not simple. I believe there will be a lot of strong opponents. This 2-mark Void Spirit Pill is for you. You must break through to late harmonious spirit realm. I understand. Jiang Yihe received the white pill bottle. Jiang Jian, Your sword technique is not bad. It's just that your cultivation is a bit weak. If you can break through to mid-harmonious spirit realm, your strength will increase again. The Jiang family patriarch gave him the 1-mark void spirit pill. Thank you, patriarch. I will definitely achieve good results for the family in the great clan meeting. Jiang Jian held the pill bottle and said while gritting his teeth, All right, there's still half a month left. All of you must work hard, the patriarch reminded. Chapter 379. 3 days later, Zhang Yihe successfully broke through to the late stage of the harmonious spirit realm, increasing his strength once again. The entire Jiang manor was filled with excitement. Jiang Jian was also outstanding. With the help of the 1-mark void spirit pill, he also successfully broke through to the mid-stage of the harmonious spirit realm. Haha, young hero Lin Xian, it's all thanks to you this time. Third elder laughed as he entered Lin Xian's room. I've already informed the patriarch. I'll bring you to meet the third peak elder now. Many thanks. Lin Xian let out a sigh of relief. He had been waiting for this moment for so long. After passing through layers of halls and pavilions, he followed the third elder to a heavily guarded place. It was a 3-story pavilion with a grand aura, revealing its extraordinariness. As they approached the martial skill pavilion, Lin Xian felt countless gazes constantly sweeping over him. He knew that these were the warriors hiding in the dark, guarding the martial skill pavilion. Third elder, how come you have the time to come here? You even brought a child with you? An elder appeared nearby. I'm here on the patriarch's orders to meet Elder Jiang Sanfeng. Oh, meet the third peak elder? The elder was slightly surprised. Wait here, I'll go inform him. Lin Xian was surprised. The two of them spoke with incomparable reverence for Elder Jiang Sanfeng. It seemed like Elder Jiang Sanfeng's status was higher than he had imagined. No need, I already know. An old voice sounded. In the next moment, a gray-white figure appeared beside them. So fast, Lin Xian's pupils shrank. His soul force couldn't sense how the elder arrived. Lin Xian looked over with astonishment. He saw the third peak elder wearing a Taoist robe. His face was skinny, but his eyes were incomparably deep, as if countless stars were flickering within them. What a powerful old man! Lin Xian was shocked. This elder's strength was too terrifying. Peak of the spirit transformation realm, 1 step away from the spirit detecting realm. Lord Alcohol transmitted. Peak of the spirit transformation realm? Lin Xian was stunned. Such a powerful old man was not a spirit detecting realm expert? Then just how strong would a spirit detecting realm expert be? That day, a spirit detecting realm expert had descended upon the Xia country and caused the entire Xia country to surrender. He needed to have the power to surpass the spirit detecting realm before he could return to the Xia country. It seems that I still have a long way to go. Lin Xian clenched his fists. Don't worry. When you find the great dragon sword, everything will no longer be a fantasy. Lord Alcohol consoled. Greetings, third peak elder. The third peak elder and the old man said respectfully at the same time. Lin Xian also bowed respectfully. Greetings, senior. Kid, why are you looking for me? Jiang Sanfeng asked. I wonder if senior has ever been to the Heavenly Mountain Kingdom? Lin Xian asked with a glimmer of hope. Yes, I did go there when I was young. Elder Jiang Sanfeng said slowly. Then does senior know a person called Han Shuo? Han Shuo was the old man's name. Elder Jiang Sanfeng recalled for a moment before shaking his head slightly. Lin Xian was extremely disappointed. He took out the token that old man DK had given him and quickly asked, Senior, do you recognize this token? The third peak elder shook his head. Back then, I only stayed in the Heavenly Mountain Kingdom for a few days before leaving. I didn't interact with anyone. Is that not the case? Lin Xian put away the token and frowned. From the looks of it, he had gone in the wrong direction. On account of your great contributions to the Jiang Manor, I specially came to meet you today. All right, now that you have met, you may leave, Elder Jiang Sanfeng said. Sorry for disturbing you. Lin Xian left the martial arts pavilion with the third elder in disappointment. How could this be? It's actually not an elder of the martial arts pavilion? Then who could it be? Lin Xian muttered. Young hero Lin, This is actually very normal. There's no need for you to be depressed. The Jiang family is one of the 4 major family clans in the Dragon Rising Strong country. The entire Jiang family has 3 major branch clans and countless smaller branches. And our Qingshan City's Jiang Manor is just one of the smaller branches. In the entire Jiang family, there are many people named Jiang Sanfeng. Maybe the person you are looking for is in another branch. Lin Xian's eyes flashed as hope rose in his heart. Indeed, Old Man DK had said that if he found Jiang Sanfeng, he would be able to join the Green Dragon Association. A person with such power was definitely not an ordinary person. A branch elder of the Qingshan City's Jiang family wouldn't have such power. Could it be in the main Jiang family clan? Lin Xian took a deep breath. The Jiang family was one of the 4 major family clans. Their strength was second only to the Dragon Elephant sect. If he wanted to go in and find someone, it wouldn't be easy. Young hero Lin, this time we are going to the Qingshan Lake Jiang family's clan meeting. Why don't you come with us? The third elder said. The Qingshan Lake Jiang family's clan branch clan is one of the 3 major branches of the Jiang family. The person you are looking for might be there. All right, Lin Xian nodded. Since his target was the Jiang family, he could start from the branch clan. With an idea in mind, Lin Xian waited for the Jiang family's clan meeting to begin. In the following days, Lin Xian concentrated on cultivating. After entering the harmonious spirit realm, he had a new understanding of sword intent. He had completely grasped the Wind Emperor's sword technique and was only a step away from comprehending the concept of wind. Taking a deep breath, he took out the sword intent treasure box again. As his cultivation increased, he was confident that he could completely open the sword intent treasure box this time. After leaving the Qingshan city, Lin Xian came to the wilderness. He set up a defensive formation. He held the sword intent treasure box in his hand. He used the silver lightning mark and combined it with the surrounding spiritual energy to form an even stronger defense. Ka-ka, the sword intent treasure box was slowly opened. Suddenly, a sharp sword intent appeared in the surroundings. Buzz, buzz, buzz. A sword intent rushed out of Lin Xian's body, crazily resisting the sword intent in the sword intent treasure box. Open for me. Lin Xian roared and pulled with his palms, opening the sword intent treasure box completely. The sharp sword intent formed a blood-red long sword in the air and slashed at him mercilessly. Clang! Lin Xian controlled the sword intent in his body and formed an azure dragon. It circled above his head and blocked the attack of the blood-red long sword. At the same time, he used his eye technique and looked into the treasure box. The result gave him a huge shock. Inside the treasure box was a palm-sized branch with 3 sword marks on it. The terrifying sword intent was emitted from the 3 sword marks. Lin Xian was shocked. How powerful must a swordsman be to leave such a terrifying sword intent on the branch? It's at least a swordsman with great success in sword intent. From the sword marks on the branch, it seems to have a trace of indestructible aura, Lord Alcohol transmitted. Lin Xian sighed. He yearned for such power. Holding the branch with sword marks, Lin Xian sat cross-legged and began to comprehend the sword intent on it. 10 days later, Lin Xian suddenly opened his eyes. 2 sharp sword beams tore through the void and pierced through the mountain rocks in front of him. At that moment, he was like a peerless sword, emitting an aura that made one's heart palpitate. As for the branch with the sword mark in his hand, it had turned into powder. 70% sword intent. I never expected a branch to allow me to comprehend 70% sword intent. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.